I didn't sell out, son. I bought in. Keep that in mind.
Welcome to the Independent Characters, episode 275. This is Carl.
This is Adon.
This is Josh.
Hey, and we're coming to you from the Astronomicon, where we'll talk about that at the end.
Where we'll sign off at the end of the show.
I was going to say,
This is episode 275. We are going to be talking about model rescue and restoration. Originally, I was going to have Casey from eBay Model Rescues on as an interview, but disruption around the globe has caused us to miss our recording date. So I am going to leave. I'm going to record that. We're working out a time to record that, and then I will put that up as a Patreon bonus interview.
There you go.
For those who don't know the work he does, it's pretty fun and fun to watch as he takes models that are just in real bad shape.
Yeah, the before and after.
And turns them into pieces of art.
so, I'm sorry, wait a minute. We have a Patreon?
We do.
Oh.
Yeah, you can find more about that information for the Patreon at theindependentcharacters.com. No A in independent. And this show is sponsored, speaking of Patreon, by John Tumbles and Arnie. Is it Arnie or
Arnie.
Arn?
No, it's Arnie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just you know him or you know
No,
that?
I've known people over the years with the spelling that.
Okay.
Like that. Well,
I remember when I first met Jeff, I was like, Geoff.
I mean, maybe Arnie doesn't
Geoff.
say it that way.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's
Could be regional.
Arn Kreutzmann.
Yeah.
Sorry I butchered your name. Adon, thanks for correcting me. Or
I could
glad
be
I
wrong.
got it right. And sorry,
Yeah,
Don butchered your name. But thank the both of you and thank all the rest of our patrons for your amazing support. We really do appreciate it. We're part of the Goonhammer Media Network, so you can check out media.goonhammer.com for more shows and information. And so we're going to talk about today, how you go about restoring, acquiring and restoring,
Yeah.
acquiring, cleaning, restoring, the whole process.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that whole process.
Giving models a second life.
Trash to treasure.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I wish I'd name. Those are both better titles than what I came up with.
Well, you didn't ask, so.
I haven't put together a graphic yet, so maybe I'll take one of those too. Anyway, yeah. And if you by any chance happen to hear a puppy screaming in the background at some point during the recording, nobody's being murdered.
Yep.
It's
got a
the
puppy.
9-week-old.
We have a 9-week-old puppy.
You can hear the bags under Carl's eyes from taking care of a puppy.
That's Shell. And a 4-year-old husky. So we've got 2 dogs in the house.
Yeah, you got a full pack again.
Yeah.
I turned around and this little puppy is dragging my backpack across the floor. Like, wait a minute.
Oh God. Like I told you, Kiro, the husky, already broke my airbrush. Worse than I
Not his
realized.
fault, though. Not his fault.
Not his fault. It was my fault that the
Just caught the
air
arrows.
cable was hanging down as he chased one of the cats, playing with one of the cats. So broke the needle and the protecting sheath.
The guard, yeah.
And then this morning, the puppy with those little sharp teeth decided to put a couple of punctures in my airbrush hose. So Carl's Hobby Products taking some punishment from these 2 dogs.
I've got a couple spare hoses. I should have brought you one, but
Well,
I didn't know until I
I could
got
use
here.
one. Yeah. Anyway, why don't we leap right into Elite Choice? And I'll go ahead and go first. Captain Rafi, who's
Yes.
regular.
Yeah.
Put up a picture of Captain Rafi Jr.,
Yeah.
Senor Cordero, yeah.
his kid, who has done some paint jobs on, what are these models called? These are Age of Sigmar models of Don.
Yeah, they're Age of Sigmar from the
They're Nighthaunt.
Nighthaunt.
I don't
That
know what
was
the
it.
They're
specific
the-
models are.
Oh, man, I can't remember. Chain Rasps? No, they're not Chain Rasps. I can't remember the names.
Well, you know what?
They're
You
the
can-
ones with the long glaives.
You can find them in the Discord
Yeah.
thread.
Check
where-
out the Elite Choice
The Elite Choice
Discord channel. Yeah.
So it's interesting how, and Josh would be able to tell me how to do this, but the way that they take the picture where there's no background, it's just like stark white.
you crop it out with Photoshop.
Oh, I don't have. Okay.
You can either
Actually,
expose it brightly so that it will just basically blow it out, which is what Games Workshop used to do before they started clipping all their miniatures individually. But now it's just
Photoshop. And actually, your phone can do it too.
your phone can do it. It's just like AI masking
It's like
is
making
really
a sticker.
good.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
using the sticker feature. Yeah.
Or even like iPhones, you can just hold on a subject in your photo and it'll,
and you can drag it to another thing.
Yeah, because Ned does it with black, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, look, it hit a couple things. First off, kid painting, and he did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
They look good.
Really great job. So, super
I mean, it's Age of
excited to see
Sigmar,
that.
but yeah.
Well, yeah. But he's painting is painting.
I'm just kidding.
Progress is progress.
Progress is progress. That's right.
When do we get to your progress?
Age of Sigmar counts as hobby progress. Mine?
No.
Oh.
I was just teasing. No. I got nothing. Actually, I didn't even look at his progress. I was like, you're in this with me, right?
Yeah.
As we look at him.
Yeah.
2 against 1. Okay.
I agree, Carl.
Story of my life.
Listen,
All right,
Captain
it's
Raffi,
fine.
great job.
Yeah, fantastic.
And Captain Raffi Jr.,
Off to a
even
great
better
start,
job.
yeah.
Good job. All right, what'd you pick, Josh?
So is he a captain or is he like a second lieutenant right now?
Primaris Lieutenant Raffi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Primaris lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to go with because there's just a ton of them.
How many lieutenants does Captain Raffi have?
I don't
Probably
know.
just one.
How do you fit in a minivan? So I went with Mark Kilburn's Gravis Ancient, and this is a work in progress still. The Ancient themselves are done, but the banner is yet to be finished. So I can't wait to see this finished because it's pretty fantastic. This is Howling Griffins,
My favorite
quartered paint scheme, really nicely done with the red and the yellow, and then the freehand done for both the Howling Griffin chapter icon, and then the other shoulder pad has kind of checkerboard, red and white checkerboard, and then a half skull icon on there. Just really, really nicely done, and I love the weathering on this model.
I was gonna say a lot of weathering on it.
Great weathering, like especially having doing the freehand of the Howling Griffin chapter symbol and then weathering through that, like scuffing it up like something's clawed at it, like.
If I had painted that,
it takes gumption, and I love it.
Yeah, there's no way I'm scuffing it at that point.
It's just a really nice approach to this. It's a great looking model, and I can't wait to see what the banner edition adds to this one.
Nice. What about you, Don?
I picked, I don't know his real name, but it's on the Discord. It's Happy R Booze.
That's Booze.
Booze.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, touche. Okay, good. Touche
No,
Booze.
Booze.
It's
Yeah.
actually Happy RB Uze.
Yeah. Happy Arbaus.
Oh, now that we've butchered all of that, he did Gaunt's Ghosts.
Yeah,
They look awesome.
And they look really
that's
good.
a cool looking squad.
And I like the books a lot anyway, and so seeing them on the table like this is awesome.
Really nice color scheme choices, and the green just comes out fantastic.
I did have to laugh about the big yellow flowers in the guy's crotch, but other than that,
Where are you supposed to put the flowers?
no, I get it.
He's hiding behind
It's potpourri.
It's potpourri.
Yeah. All right. I think it's an excellent choice.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, I didn't see those on the Discord.
Yeah, I always wait until the day before we record,
Yeah.
so I can go back through and get the full panoply of
that's probably a good idea.
pictures to pick.
Yeah. Nice.
I just scroll back until I see where, like, oh, this is where I stopped looking last time, and then I scroll forward.
Yeah.
There's so many.
So sometimes
which is awesome.
it carries over.
Keep it coming.
Yeah. It looks good, dude.
I definitely parked a couple pictures. I mean, there was a couple of Age of Sigmar things that were really good. It was like, I'm not going to pick Age of Sigmar, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
leave
this
that for
looks
Carl.
this looks great. Leave that for Carl. Being the huge Age of Sigmar player I am.
Yeah.
All right.
It's too much on point if I was going to pick Age of Sigmar.
Let's talk workbench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobby progress.
Let's do it.
Josh, why don't you go first?
Okay. I painted a new Primaris Captain for my Sharkadons. This was the last model I needed to paint for Adepticon so that my 2,000 points Shark, this is a kind of a new list that I wanted to play out that just had a captain on foot with lieutenant and a big squad of assault intercessors popping out of a Land Raider. So this is fun. I don't even remember the name of the model because I didn't care about the Ultramarines character, but it's the store model that you picked up for me, Adon, a while back. That was the Ultramarine captain character
From the books.
possibly. Yeah, I don't remember what the
Not
base model
Sicarius.
was, but
If the guy on the cover African American on the box?
yeah, I have no idea. I converted the model
It's
immediately.
the guy. If it's not him, it's the other one. Captain. There's too many captains.
Titus.
Not Titus.
it wasn't
Titus.
It was a store model. So
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
it comes with He's got a back banner. It's got a cool power fist with a little bit more action to it.
Right.
He's got a bolter, which I cut off the bolter and put a plasma pistol on. Anyways, yeah, I don't
picture
remember
I can picture the model in my head. I just can't
remember
remember the name.
you probably got that me for like 6 months ago. So anyways, finally
And his name is Captain
Mako.
There you go. Yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain for my army at least.
Yeah.
Of the Sharkadons. Yep. So got him painted up there. One thing I was gonna call out too is for all the stuff I've been trying to be better about painting taking pictures of stuff that I've painted and putting that into the hobby forum of in the hobby progress section on the Discord. There is a hobby forum section of which I have a channel on there. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, that's a great spot to check everything out.
Oh, is he in there?
Yeah, there's I think a quick phone photo in there of what I did, and I'll be taking more better pictures now that he's properly done. I think that was pre blood effects. So speaking of which, I had probably about 20 infantry models that I hadn't done the blood effects for on these Sharkadons. So while I was getting Captain Mako all bloodied up, I decided to just get everybody else done.
So you just went crazy with a toothbrush and flicking blood all over
I didn't
the place.
do any of the flicking. So when I did this army back in 5th edition, the first iteration of the Sharkadons, I did the flicking and I ended up with like blood all over my computer monitor.
Yeah.
Which I was like, so I just had this blood. So like, I've gotten like, and obviously over the years, I've added a ton of models to that because I was.
I thought you were going to say I added a bunch of blood to my monitor.
No.
Murder scene.
But I started putting up parchment paper to cover whatever the background is. But so this one, the original small Marines that I've did, the firstborns, I went a little bit heavier with the blood effects where I'm going a little bit more subtle this time around. So because I want to go back. Like I'm pretty happy with the army. I'm like calling it done where I am. I've got tons and tons of points of it between the Primaris and the small Marines. But
small Marines.
I want to go more. I went more subtle with the blood so that I can go back and do more freehanding for the exile markings on all the sharks. So like now that I'm pretty happy with it, I'm going to finish painting the Eldar army and then I'll go back and do all the freehand on the sharks. Just when I feel a little bit better about that. It's such fine detail for that freehand that I'm taking my time with it.
Nice.
Then I painted up just a couple Trench Crusade reinforcements for my Prussian army. Just a couple guys. I just needed some guys with bolt rifles. And then I painted a few Shatterpoint Empire models in anticipation of maybe getting off the wait list for Adepticon, which I just found out today I did. So
There you go.
For Shatterpoint.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
I'll probably be doing that.
Excellent. Don, what have you been working on?
I picked up the Maelstrom box set along with the Maelstrom models, the box set of models and the Huron box. Popped those open, started taking a look at it, and it looked like it seems decent. Nothing jumped out at me like the Dreadnought from the Horse Heresy box, the Saturnine Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And that thing, 200 pieces. So yeah, it all looks good. It's starting to get that going. They just announced that they're going to put out the Red Corsairs and the Captain separately, like super fast. I was really surprised how fast that was. And so I'll be picking that up at the end of the month when the Black Library coin for the Alpha Legion comes out. So because I want to get my $100 so I can get that
Sounds like
coin.
it's going to be a good month for you.
Oh man, yeah. So
can I just mention at this moment, I did not pay a ton of attention to anything else other than the Corsairs that came out.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Aldari stuff that came out, and I was like, oh snap!
The
This
Swoop and
stuff
Hawk
looks
stuff?
amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Every piece of that, every kit they released, I was like, oh man, these look really good.
Completely
They do.
agree. The aesthetics
So
are
good.
phenomenal.
Like both those releases.
I don't love the backwards turret on the Viper, the alternate build on the new Viper, but the new updated Viper. I think
Updated Viper looks
fantastic.
good. Yeah, I actually thought that the detachments for it actually looked pretty fun too. So.
Oh man, those models look great.
Yeah.
Just great.
Yeah, it doesn't fit my theme of my army at all, but I did pick up. I had it in my hand. I'm like, oh, this is
cool.
very
That
cool.
was cool. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So I assembled another 12 Conquest models for my forces in that game. And this is probably one of the worst kits I've ever had to build for that game.
Oh, interesting.
For that game. They don't include any of the instructions in the box.
Oh, I've heard.
You have
bad
to
things
go
about
online.
Conquest.
I was
And
like,
when-
can you download them?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but when you download them, they only have the instructions for one of the poses.
Weird.
It is weird.
Interesting.
I mean, a lot of them have letters A, B, C, D, E on the frames, but then you got to search them out and like which arm goes with what and anyway.
Yeah.
But I got that done. I got it. The 2 battalion boxes for the new Cathay stuff that they just released, and I've already got that paid and ready to go to send out to Painted Figs. And
How big is your Cathay collection now? It's like,
so I
because you went pretty big on the first part of that. So
the
this is like
first-
a 4,000 point army now.
so the first battalion box I got 2 of those.
Yeah.
And 2 of the guys riding the little dragon dudes, the longmas. I got to use the right term, I guess.
And 9 of the lanterns.
Only 4, and
They look great.
they do. The lanterns came out great, and so then I got two of these this new battalion box that has all the ranged elements.
Yeah,
This is what they didn't have in the first one. So I'll pretty much have what I need. Any kind of type of build that I want to do. I'll have the models for it, and that was kind of my goal.
Yeah.
So
Lots of options. And then
yeah, so I'd have lots of options and play different. Because for me, I don't really care what the meta is.
Right.
I just play stuff that I think looks cool or would be fun to play. I like a lot of range stuff. I almost ended up as a Tau player, but
It's like he doesn't want to be friends anymore.
so I wanted to add that in. I wanted to have that element. I was glad to see they released that. So.
That is cool.
But
Yeah, I
Tau
got that
with now they have the melee mechs.
Dude,
for
the
Tau.
new
Tau are
talking about new models. You see the new Tau models?
Yeah.
they're pretty sweet.
They are very sweet.
They're
Yeah,
releasing so much good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. And in fact, today they just released the picture of the new War Boss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the orc. Yeah,
After the
multi-part
leak came
classic
out.
orc. Yep.
He looks good.
It looks really good. Yeah.
A lot of character. Yeah.
And then I also was talking to Dan from Tectonic Craft Studios. He does the MDF laser cut stuff. Remember, we met him at like one of our first Adepticons.
Many times. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always get my name tag done by him anyway for Adepticon. But I've been talking to him about doing company trays, and so we finally finalized that, and I paid for him. So I'm going to be picking it up at Adepticon. Company-sized trays for my firstborn company. Nice. So for the 2nd through 7th company, I'll be able to put 100 Marines on a tray.
Nice.
Cool.
So I can put the companies all out
So
together.
for display purposes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Well, no, it's a movement tray,
Company level.
Company formation.
company level formation. Yeah.
They're marching that way.
Yeah. He said, so wait, you're deploying them like this? No, it's just for display. Oh, okay.
So you buy a Cathay army, and now you're all about movement trays and
Yeah, it's all about the movement trays.
Movement, huh? Okay.
And so that was pretty cool. That we finally got that figured out. He sent me the diagram. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what. 'Cause we had a phone call about it, and then he sent me the diagram. I'm like, yep, here we go.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That you?
That's me.
That's you. I also picked up the Maelstrom books.
Yeah.
I was able to acquire, like, Sky was sold out of them. I kind of approached it a little late, so my fault. But what I was excited about the most in it was the ability to build characters in it. And I've briefly looked at it. Like, Don's looked at it more than I have.
Crucible of Champions is a pretty cool option.
Yeah, what's nice is that it's not. It really doesn't look overpowered at all.
Yeah.
And it's got some really cool features for creating characters for units that don't have a character type.
Yep.
Like the sisters, you can build a Paragon warsuit character.
Yeah.
So
Space
it's pretty
Marines
slick.
to get a dreadnought.
Yeah.
Well, you can build the new Wraithseer, like a non-Legends
Oh, I love
Wraithseer
it.
now, which is pretty sweet.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a cool idea. I hope it carries over into 11th.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll
absolutely.
see. I'm sure, at first pass, it looks like, oh, this isn't too powerful, but I'm sure somebody's going to
Figure out a way to
figure
break it.
something out, once it hits
Some kind of-
the
Well, it's funny you
right
said you
scene.
came to it late. When I ordered all my the Huron stuff, I forgot to order the book.
I forgot to order the book.
So I had to go camp out
You
again.
saying that was what reminded me I didn't order mine. And I was like, oh no. And so fortunately I was able to find a copy. So
Yeah.
they're still out there. Don't go to eBay and overpay for it. Like there's still a lot of stores that have it in stock
yeah,
you can
yeah.
order from, but don't give
I was sitting out in front of the store and
saw.
Nate shows up and goes, Did you forget something again?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure did.
See, that's where those one-click deals came in.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so I picked those up. I've briefly had a chance to look through them. I'm excited about that. The other funny thing about that is like we are 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, right.
Because the next thing gets announced and it's, oh, by the way, we're going to include apocalypse rules in this.
New Apocalypse coming out.
Like freaking, of course. Of
So,
course.
all right. So we have to think about this.
I posed that
Defiler,
to the community.
APOC.
Yeah.
I posed
What's the next thing?
I posed that to the community. I was like, what else should we manifest into being? And people were throwing out BFG,
No.
but I don't think that's going to be soon. I think that's going to be later.
Not in the next 2 weeks.
No. I don't know.
Obviously, there's going to be a couple big announcements at Adepticon because it's a 2-hour Games Workshop preview.
Yeah,
there.
It's a 2-hour preview?
Yeah.
They've done, I bet you it's 11th.
It's 11.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be exclusively.
course.
11.
They've done, no, of course not. But they've done Chaos a lot of good over the last.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be Chaos-y.
I'm not going to force it yet.
Well, I think that
I got a lot
I
of
don't
wish
think there's
listed.
anything. I don't think anything is going to be really big between now and Adepticon.
Oh, don't you?
No, I don't, because it's
They'll
only,
hold on to it for Adepticon.
Yeah, they'll hold on for Adepticon. It's only 3 weeks.
That Defiler is so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait till
Yeah.
that thing. I got to buy 3 of them.
One for each army. Yeah.
Yeah. One for
Power gamer.
Not to run all 3 at once. Like, and the fact they got new rules, and I'm just like,
My friend
this is
Oscar
great.
has all 4 gods. He has armies for all 4 gods.
Yep.
And I said, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if they came out with the Defiler as a dual kit with the Soul Grinder?
Yeah.
He kind of looked at me and goes, I have to be like 12 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the curse of chaos.
They used to share the same legs. So
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. We'll by the end of the episode, we'll have
Well, we've got
manifested
Mutilators,
something.
Defiler, and Apocalypse.
Oh, that's right.
right,
The Mutilators.
We got
Which I'm gonna buy.
Yeah.
Like, good God, those look cool.
they're like so much better. Than
After
the
we
old ones.
ripped on them for so hard.
I'm telling you, somebody's listening, and they've just got the quick short stack of releases ready to go, just waiting for us to say it. I'm like, okay,
I wish.
the people have spoken.
I wish. I
Well,
had
okay,
that kind of
Plastic
pull.
Thunderhawk then.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we already have an 8mm one now.
All right. So anyway, I've also assembled. So okay, before I tell you what I just assembled, it was funny. I purchased quote unquote the Warhammer Plus Alderi model.
Yeah,
like
the
I
spirit set.
ordered them for free, for quote unquote free, because I have the
Included
Warhammer
with the
Plus.
price of admission.
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought I had ordered it previously, and I was like, oh, it's here, like available to order. So okay, I ordered it, and I went through the whole process of ordering it. Okay. And then it was like, oh, you still have this 15% discount coupon you haven't used, and it's going to expire like at whatever date. And I'm like, oh, well, let me go see what there's worth buying.
Yeah,
Right. This is how the
What
coupon
don't you
works.
have?
Oh, of course.
This is how the coupon works. So let me go see, because I don't feel like I really need to purchase anything.
yeah. You've got
these
a
days.
sizable collection.
When that Defiler comes out, yes.
Yeah.
When this is the thing I like about where I'm sitting at the moment,
Yeah,
right?
same.
Where it's like I've got a huge army of chaos stuff. I can play in multiple ways, but then we added this thing. Cool, I'll get that. That's exactly how I want it to be at this
right,
point.
right.
So anyway, I'm like looking around and I'm like, oh man, like Shell has all these possessed painted up
Right.
for her army. I'm like,
You've been talking about some possessed rolling with Abaddon over Terminator.
I should order some possessed. And I'm about to click on the one click.
Is that two boxes?
Not really one.
Not really one click.
I'm about to click on it and I go, I feel like I have some possessed. And I go over to my shelf
Something possessed you to
in
believe.
shrink wrap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still
wow.
a box of
Surprise,
possessed.
surprise.
And I'm
Along
like,
with a whole Sisters of Battle army still in.
listen,
Yeah, no.
listen, you shut your mouth over there.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I do the same thing. I'll like think, that looks, I should get that. Nope. I'll go over to my gorilla rack, my five stack thing. Like,
I don't.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't-
there they are, right there.
I don't have that much in backlog any longer.
Yeah,
like
I do.
Like I still have a few chaos things here and there. I have sister stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But almost everything's assembled that I'm
That you're gonna
so,
use.
So I don't have like a lot that's like, I used to have like lots of boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not in that state any longer. But I did go over and find this box of Possess. I'm like, well, I guess this 15% coupon is going to expire because there's nothing else.
Mine
I really
expired
need.
too. I didn't have anything.
When does it expire?
I think it's based upon when your subscription.
I think
time
mine
is.
expires like late March.
So you didn't like the other Warhammer Plus model, the Soulblight Gravelord?
I love them, but I don't need it. What am I going to do with that?
I was
thing?
tempted to get it
Yeah.
I mean,
because I do have a vampire accounts army. But he has such a huge base that it'd be similar. Like you have to magnetize it to make it
just like the other
playable
one.
and
Yeah.
display. Which
I just
is
felt
fine.
like unless I need it, I'm not going to buy it, and I'll hold
That's
out
right.
for. So maybe the Defiler launches before I can get that 50% coupon.
It's possible.
Expires. So
Always a
anyway,
chance.
I did assemble the 5
nice.
Possess that I had in Tradecraft into actual unit. So, my hobby mojo has been struggling lately, and I still have the knights and stuff. I need to start doing oil washes on part of them and stuff. And
Too busy racing.
That's what I'm just about to say that.
I'm racing.
Or is it new edition? Like end of edition, there tends to be a lull for a lot of people. So
Well, I don't know if it's that or just I got the dogs. Work has been busy. I've been racing, in the simulator. I just, I don't know. So anyway, I said, well, let me get these things assembled because then they're assembled and I made some progress and maybe that'll kickstart me a little bit. And then my airbrush is busted and I was like, all right. So, I can make up excuses all day, but I'm just not in that mode right now.
I'm sure after Adepticon, you'll have a little,
See, actually,
little spring in your step.
that might
and,
work really well
probably get you
because
going.
I'm going into Adepticon fully painted Black Legion stuff. I think I'm going to bring, we'll talk about the army, the Demon Engine army. Going into Adepticon fully painted, I'm going to come out of it with probably some renewed excitement around the whole thing. So
Yeah, nice.
So that was me. That was a long-winded way of saying I assembled 5 models.
But a cool story of how you got there.
Yeah. So in terms of games played, Don, why don't you go first, and then Josh and I'll go.
Okay. I played a 2,000 point game with old friend Brett Parsons. He was part of the Endgame crowd back in the day, and his son apparently still fondly reminisces about our Apocalypse games. He was telling me about that.
Neat.
But we played at a place called King Kong Comics and Games in Dublin, which I'd never heard of the place before. I think it's relatively new.
All right.
But it was a cool place. They have most of the tables are set up for cards, like most of these places are.
Yeah.
But
Magic shop that also
yeah,
has minis.
But I walked in and I said, "Hey, we're here to play Warhammer games." Yeah, just push some tables together, no problem. And
that's cool.
They had terrain there, and you
Nice.
roll a mat out and stuff like that.
Cool.
And so we played my Aldari against his Necrons, and we ended up with the cool face-off between the Silent King and the Avatar.
Nice.
As you do.
This is for your 500 Worlds campaign?
No,
This is just a-
but it's the army I'm
one-off.
using for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No, because I reached out I saw Brett was selling something, and I reached out and said, "Hey, you're still playing?" They're like, "Yeah." So basically trying to reconnect with people in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And so it was a great time. We had a good time,
Nice.
and
Now that you've moved back to the Bay Area,
right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was really cool. And then I played a boarding actions game as part of the 500 Worlds campaign with the other cafe castoffs, and it was.
Just for those who may not know, you're calling it cafe castoffs because these were people that you used to play with up at In-Game Cafe.
No, this is no. So this
Oh,
is
excuse me. The
Warhammer
Backing up.
the Warhammer Store and Cafe.
Warhammer Store Cafe.
Warhammer Store and Cafe. So Ethan, Sean, Brandon, Oscar, and Luke and I all used to work at the cafe.
Right.
It's funny you say Ethan Sean, and that's the new Raven Guard character, which Ethan and Sean are two separate people, I'm assuming, right? But
Yes.
But Ethan Sean is in my head because Dan Boyd saying Ethan Sean with his Maryland accent.
Oh, okay.
It's funny.
Yes, that's hilarious. Yeah. So
I liked it.
yeah, that's good. So we're playing a 500 Worlds campaign. Ethan's running the whole thing, and
That's awesome.
Ethan and I are the Xenos faction. And so I had
Orcs?
No, I'm playing Eldari.
Eldari. Okay.
And so the way that the map ended up, both Oscar and I had both of our ships in orbit over the same planet. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to do a boarding action. I'm going to do a ship-to-ship attack because
nice.
the scenarios in the book are really cool.
Yeah.
And they're progressive. And it's,
nice.
yeah, it's a really cool setup. And so we played a boarding actions game. And
I was impressed with the 500 world set.
yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
It's really, I have
Does a
really
lot of cool
enjoyed
things for narrative play.
Yeah, I really enjoyed reading through it, and the scenarios are really cool. And I have he set up the map for all of us for the campaign, and
Nice.
then I took pictures of it and then duplicated it with my map at home.
Oh, cool.
So that I have,
good idea.
So I can keep track of what's going on because they're all down in SoCal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just fly in for the game and fly out. So, what we played this game, it was his Chaos, his Emperor's Children versus my Eldari, and because of my build,
That's a almost diametrically opposed
Yeah,
force.
well, right,
Yeah,
she who thirsts is seeking further souls, right, and so.
And you're all wraith constructs with your
Right.
souls in your little stones, powering, powering your boys.
Exactly.
That's
So,
neat.
and the way that the Wraith construct is set up, the only boarding action army you can play is like two units of Wraiths and your 2 Spirit Seers, and that's it. That's your whole. That's 470 points or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but he decided to kind of go heavy too. He had 2 units of Terminators, a unit of Flawless Blades, and Lord Cacophonous, and that was it. And so we had these 2 big heavy hitter units, and then the scenario is
They're also tough. Like,
yes,
Yeah.
and they're fast.
Yeah.
Those Flawless Blades move like 8 inches. It's ridiculous.
They are super fast.
Because I'm looking at the scenario, and I was like, okay, well, if I hold the scenario if I hold the objective by the end of his turn, I can destroy the objective and I get 20 points. And I was looking how they were laid out. And I was like, oh, well, I can get there, and he won't be able to get there until like turn 3. No,
Guess
Emperor
what?
Children are way faster than that. But what was really crazy is, and he and I read the scenario on the airplane on the way there, and he hadn't read it until he got there. So, pro tip, read the scenario before you build your list and before you go to the game store.
That sounds
Because
like
the contaminated area in the middle of the map, you can't do any ranged attacks.
through it.
Yeah. And so his Terminators couldn't do any shooting the whole game.
Cool.
And so I had a unit of Wraith Blades and a unit of Wraith Guard, which I shouldn't have done that. I should have had 2 units of Wraith Blades because I couldn't shoot. Anyway, so it came down to the last die roll at the end of turn 5.
Nice.
So why bother reading the mission in advance?
So I mean, it was funny because he was at one point he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna fall these guys back, and I was like, well, yeah, do you really want to fall those back because then I can just destroy this. Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get the points at the end. So he kind of second guessed what his tactical decision was, and then he ended up at the end losing because
Second guessed himself out of a victory.
out of the victory. And I said, well, see, you never take tactical advice from him. Anyway, I won't say what I said at the time, but
From the enemy.
from the enemy, exactly.
Was that a 500 world specific boarding action
Yes.
mission? Okay,
Yes.
cool. Nice.
Yeah, if you do a ship to ship contact, it's a series of, I think it's 4 or 5 different missions that are progressive. You go do one and then the other and then the other.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And they also have one where you're on the planet and it's in the Tomb Worlds terrain.
Yeah.
And then they have one set where you're playing 2 at the same time. So you can if you're playing 2 sets of people in the same day, you can have one set playing one and then one the other,
Right.
and they're all connected. And so it's really cool the way they did it, I thought. And so, that game was super fun. And Oscar's a really good player. So that was a challenge.
And a victory for you, which is great.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What else you play?
So we did a whole day of gaming at the house with a whole 6 of us from the old Endgame crew. So everybody who was there except for one guy, Ian, who we brought him into the fold. He's unofficially official. We're all basically staff from the store, either volunteers or employees at the store. And we played Conquest, Last Argument of Kings. Set up 3 different tables, and we just kind of and we ended up playing a total of 2 games each. And it was just a great time. We hadn't had everybody together since 2019 when the store closed.
Yeah.
And so having everybody in the same space at the same time, we do online hobby stuff together.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had everybody physically in the same
little
space.
family reunion.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really great.
Nice.
And so it was all day.
Mike
And-
was there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mike and Chris and Steven and Dave and Ian and me. Yeah.
Nice.
And so we're definitely going to do it again.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I miss that store. It was
Yes.
a great store.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just a great crowd of people.
That
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I mean, for the most part.
For them, I mean,
There was one person.
yeah, as outliers, you know.
Yeah. There's always one.
You know who I'm talking about, Josh. All right, very cool. Very cool. Josh, let's go to you.
Yeah.
Start with your second.
I'll start
bullet
with second
point.
game.
Yeah, and then we'll get to the other.
Yeah, so Craig and I got together to play a game of 40K, and this is a 2,000 point Adepticon flex prep game because neither Craig or I have been able to play that much 40K recently. Craig is an amazing local Santa Cruz guy, so
Is this Golden Demon winning?
Golden Demon Award winning Craig and his Sisters of Battle, which is a gorgeous,
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really
gorgeous
good.
army. Yeah, so he and I got together and we played one of the asymmetric missions using the chapter proof deck.
Aren't they awesome?
They are awesome. This was a wild game.
They're
though.
hard, yeah.
So this was an attacker and defender scenario, as they all are, but he was actually sandwiched in the middle.
Yes.
So
That's a great scenario.
there's like 12 inches off no man's land on either side of like all Craig's forces in the middle. And then obviously I'm playing Sharkadons here because that's what I'm taking to Adepticon. I've been avoiding trying to do the Imperial and Imperial match with Craig. It's like, oh, I've got Necrons. Or like I've really been wanting to paint
Just for thematic.
the Eldar, just so it's a more thematic game than the Imperial and Imperial, because it just story-wise doesn't do it as much for me. But we're both taking Imperial armies to Adepticon, so that's what we played. But so Sharkadons are a super aggressive force. I have not a lot of shooting, but very high quality shooting for what I do. And then obviously just a ton of aggressive assault units in there. So him being sandwiched between me, we roll the dice. I get first turn.
Oh no.
And how we'd set up the table, we just set up terrain beforehand, and we're not accounting for I guess
That angle.
that
of-
particular deployment
Yeah.
zone, because he's just like in the middle of the table. So it was a very fun but very brutal game. I essentially got all kinds of turn one charges off, which I didn't expect. So it was just like turn one was go turn for me. And we had a really fun game, but
That tends to be the problem with the man in the middle kind of missions I found.
it was a lot of fun to play out. Craig had a great time, even though it ended up being an incredibly one-sided game. It was top of turn 3. He was tabled, but and like I was max scoring secondaries and primaries the entire time. And it's just the way that it had happened. But we were both having a really good time. It was a very enjoyable experience, even though it was very one-sided. But it was a lot of fun. So
Cool.
yeah.
And let's talk about your second game,
Yeah, and then Carl, after we recorded last time, you and I got together to play a game.
which we haven't played in a long time.
My Sharks against your Black Legion, but a very specific flavor of.
My demon engine
I was
was
trying to
Fast
remember
Store,
the
the
last time
Arc
you
of
and I
Fame.
actually got to play a game
A
together.
long time ago. Yeah. Don and I haven't played a long time either. We're gonna set something up.
2024.
It might be.
Yeah, so it was really good to get a game. This was a super fun game.
Yeah.
I've played a game at your house.
Yeah.
Just not against you.
Right. We need
Yeah.
to get a game
Yeah.
together. So I see why you have built, like before when we were talking about Sharkadons, and I was like, well, have you thought about maybe using Space Wolves who are like assault heavy? No, your army's assault heavy enough under the way it works. And it works pretty good that way. Let me tell you. 2 Land Raiders is also a beast to always deal with, but we knew it was coming. I brought to the fold 2 Mauler Fiends, 2 Forge Fiends, 2 Venom Crawlers, Vastro the Arc of Fame,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
a
A Land
Warp
Raider full of
Smith,
Terminators.
a Land Raider full of Terminators,
You had two rhinos with
and almost brought an extra
extra
Vindicator.
Vindicator.
I almost did.
You had it on the table.
I had it on the
read that,
table, and
yeah.
I'm like, let me look at this list
Thankfully,
again.
double checked your list. Did
And I was
not
like,
sneak them
this
on a
guy is
sneak
not
run.
supposed to be in this list. It was close. It was
Oh my
close.
gosh. The curse of the extra
I've
Vindicator.
learned. I learned.
That's
It has
why-
not
that's
made
why
it
he
on the
checked.
table.
Yeah,
that's why I check. And I'm forgetting. So, and a couple squads of Chaos Space Marines, 5-man squads of Chaos Space Marines. And did I have Beastmen with that list?
No,
I don't recall.
No Beastmen.
Anyway, yeah, I mean the mission was fairly straightforward. We played.
It was the hazardous waste disposal, or like you push hazardous waste into the opponent's deployment zone.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which with 2 assault
is
armies
so hard.
is really hard to pull off because
So hard.
You want to kill them instead of push.
I don't think
hazmat waste into
maybe
deployment
at
zone.
one point you scored a primary objective.
In like turn 3 or 4,
or
like
4.
my scouts on the end.
Like it was.
Yeah.
Like we were not moving objectives. Josh was killing it on secondaries. Like I just couldn't get any secondary stuff to work. I got a few points here and there, but Josh really kind of dominated the secondary objective points, like right from the get-go. Vashdor's fun in close combat. I think the highlight of the game, though, is the Mauler Fiend
and the Brutalis
piling into your Brutalis and just wrecking shop on the Brutalis, but not finishing them off.
Oh no.
And then the Brutalis finishing off the Mauler Fiend, which then detonated and killed the Brutalis.
Killed the Brutalis.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was awesome.
That's an Adeptus Titanicus type of moment, right? there.
We were hoping the Brutalis would then explode to damage the thing next to him, but it did not happen. I think I caused so this list in particular, you kind of do like a super dark pact.
Yeah,
like with it. I don't remember exactly
it's
what it's
like
called.
The contract
of something with the dark gods, and so basically. Your dark pact is like one more difficult to pull off, and as you roll this, like
you were killing off your own dudes.
listen, always be dark pact. And I think I caused you had a whiff of round one.
My dice were atrocious
in round one.
So Carl did way more damage to himself than I did.
Yep, through dark pact.
Dark pact.
That's funny.
But your dark pact gives you what, sustained and lethal, or the +1 to wound. That's
+1 to wound,
which was huge. You were wounding everything on 2s.
I think the other problem was I'm not practiced with this list.
Yeah.
And so there were like things I forgot. I was like, oh no, wait, he's supposed to.
That's what I'm finding
feed
with
this.
the Aldari thing. I'm like, I keep forgetting battle focus.
Well,
it's like, I could have done this.
That's their whole thing.
I know.
And this is why I've also kind of lowered the number of armies I'm playing. I'm just like, I want to focus on this. And speaking of that, I mean, just to pivot again, why not? The other thing I will say is the way that armies build themselves now in their detachments and stuff.
Yeah.
Like one army has so many different ways it can play now, which I love.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you get more bang for your buck out of an army these days. And
yes.
With just a little bit,
just swapping 1 or 2 units here and there, that army plays completely differently.
I have this. I have this army that plays in this detachment this way. If I just add these 2 models, I can now play this other detachment.
Well, and see, that's part of the beauty of it, right? Because it's like, oh, I need to go buy these 2 other units.
Listen, that works for the company and it works for the player,
right?
As far as I'm concerned,
I think that's a win-win.
Yeah. And so at the end of the game, you had pretty handily defeated the Chaos Forces. Points wise, but we had pretty heavily destroyed a lot of stuff on the table.
Too.
It
was a fun, brutal game.
I never get the secondary objectives I really need. Like
going into that too, like seeing your list and what it does with the +1 to wound too. It's like you just have like high volume of stuff. Everything's wounding on 2s. And my army, while it hits hard, is not very durable once I'm out of transports because it's just dudes.
Like you had one unit.
It's just angry dudes.
You had one unit get out, and I lit it up with the contract dark pact forge fiend
and obliterated
he just took the whole unit off the table except for like 2 guys.
There was like 9 guys that are dead.
So I mean it was
a fun game.
Looking at your list I was like, oh boy, how am I going to crack open these land raiders and stuff, but man, I had fun in that game. I really did have fun in that game. And that Brutalis, this is the second time I've ever used Mauler Fiends. So it was like, oh, I was so excited to get him in combat, and then I did. I'm like, oh, I can't believe it.
It was a long bomb charge. It was like an 11-inch charge you pulled off to get in there, and then they kill each other in a deadly demise explosion, which is beautiful.
Was the best.
Yeah.
The only thing that could have made it better is if the Brutalis didn't explode.
In the game I played with Mike that last Sunday, we were sitting on objectives at one point. I was like, well, you just sit there and I just sit here. I think you might end up winning, or we end up with a tie. He goes, yeah, but that's no fun. And he goes charging across the board. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. I think there's
the smart thing and then there's the fun thing.
The fun thing, yeah. Well, and anytime I play Mike, for some reason, every single time our warlords end up face to face.
Yeah,
That's great.
As it should be.
As it should be. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. I have one more thing before we continue, which is I have a voicemail.
Oh.
Nice.
I have a voicemail from George. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Carl et al. George here from the UK, long time listener, first time caller. I have 2 points to sort of discuss. First of all, a narrative reason why you can't run more than one Satan Shard, even in an Apocalypse game, because if you put 2 Satan Shards too close together, they'll absorb into one. It's literally the last thing the Necrons want, especially if it's the Nightbringer. The other thing I wanted to get the group's input on is that I don't play really any 40k anymore. I mostly play Heresy. 10th edition just holds no interest for me. But on a recent visit to a games club, there were some guys playing 40k on just a battle map and objective markers. No three-dimensional terrain, because apparently it causes too much arguments. And apparently that's just the way the meta is shifting in 40k at the moment, even at like the casual level or the semi-competitive level. And I was wondering if the group had any experience of this, whether they'd seen this as the way it's going. Personally, I think this idea is the grimmest thing I've ever heard. But at the same time, I don't play 40k. I'm not interested in competitive gaming. So let them do what they want. And I have space for my thing. Anyway, I'd be really keen to hear the group's thoughts on this. Cheers.
All right, George.
Yeah.
That is the grimmest of things I've ever heard.
That breaks my heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, Don, why don't you give your opinion first? I want to not shove my opinion down people's throat. I'll do that at the end.
I really, really don't like the paintball field terrain setups that you see in tournaments.
Which is to address the arguments,
right,
and address the.
But I loathe it. I just think that it takes all of the spirit out of a game, and to me it breaks the immersion too much. Like the game that I played with Brett, we took terrain that was on the tables and we put it on the tables and say, okay, yeah, we can't see through the first level on that one. It's a rubber band around the ruins. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Can you see it? That guy? Yeah, those two guys can see, but that guy's he's like hunkered down. Yeah, I agree. Okay, fine, and stuff like that. And as long as you're playing with people who are in the same headspace,
Yep.
then it's all good, and it looks better, it plays better, it feels better, it tells a better story. The paintball fields can go away as far as I'm concerned. I mean, for tournament stuff, I get it. I understand why they do it, and more power to them. It's just that's not my vibe.
Yeah, I agree. Carl, you even said that match play 40K right now is basically how War Machine used to play. Like the terrain doesn't matter. It's a footprint. The height doesn't matter. There's no levels to that. Right. There's no narrative. There's no story for it. And again, I understand from a tournament standpoint why this exists, because it's just clean. It's easy. Everybody's playing on the same page.
The objective is to win.
The objective is to win, not
in
to
a
tell a
tournament.
story.
Yeah.
Right.
But that is obviously not where we're coming to the game from.
Right.
Honestly, with all the game systems that I play, from a rule set standpoint, 40K is one of my least favorites, just because of how it's designed, and it's way less modern than a lot of other games. Mm-hmm. But the potential for all the lore and the story and the background and playing with good friends and like being able to bring those stories
And
to
the
life
beautiful models.
has so much, and the models are incredible. There's so much potential there, and it's not the rule set that I'm playing 40K for. It's the experience with my friends and going to a tournament and playing to win again in a game that has no personality, no story, no narrative, just flat terrain, MDF. it absolutely kills the spirit of the game for me, and I can't stand it. Like, more power to you if that's what you're into it for.
Yeah, sure.
But that is definitely not why I'm into this hobby and this game.
I have referenced Dan and Campbell from the 40K Badcast and their discussion about narrative play and tournament play, and they're kind of the opposite side of the coin that we're on.
Yeah.
Which goes to show that we can all be friends still.
Yeah, totally.
And even
I don't know about that.
And even play each other. Well, listen, Don, I hate to tell you this. Those guys don't like you.
No, I know.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
You were the other guy we were referencing about the
I know.
I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, it was very subtle.
No, not at all. But they have a very different viewpoint of it than we do, and because that's the type of game they play. So when you talk about, what is the meta of 40K, I would say it depends on your group.
Yep,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, as a joke, somebody put out a bunch of terrain that was all clear plexiglass at one point, and people were like, "Oh, I could use that," and I'm like, "Now you are
Hard
playing
pass,
a different game than we are."
Yeah.
And I love the way you put it, Josh. Actually, which was the reason I play it is for the stories it tells and the hanging out with my friends. I think one of the things that drew me to 40K was seeing the cool tables and especially the Forge World books, and you look at the tables they had, and you're like, "Oh
absolutely.
man, these are incredible!" Like that's what I want to play, and I get that it can be. Perhaps a little fiddly in the rules sometimes. Like you could be like, well, it's not very clear, this is this line, and okay, cool. Amongst our group, we have never had an argument.
Right.
And that's why I go back to that old saying, right? The object of the game is to win, but the point of the game is to have fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it too.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it too. So,
but everybody defines fun differently.
Everybody defines fun differently. This is how our group has kind of grabbed, and this is why we probably
50 shades of fun. 50 shades of fun. So
well, and this is why easy there, Tiger.
Family show,
and I haven't gotten the 40K condom, the IC condoms, which I won't have in time.
No,
Adepticon. But
Adepta condoms.
Everybody does.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
Does think of fun differently, and that's fine. Our group has gravitated towards this direction, and the folks that gravitate the other direction or can't let go of that other direction tend not to play with our group. They find the groups that they want to play with, even if they're still friends of ours, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't take it personally. I get a different thing out of this game. Yeah. And so, I mean, George, I'm really glad you're liking Horus Heresy. I think there's some very interesting things in it. For me, I've got limited amounts of time I can spend on this now. And so I drew back from Horus Heresy stuff, even though I was looking at my black books the other day. In particular, I was remembering some coverage we did of one of them, and I opened it up, and all my notes on yellow stickies are still all throughout the book, with like a yellow sticky and then like an arrow pointing to a paragraph saying, "This is what's in this paragraph." And I loved Horus Heresy at the time. I think there's some really interesting ideas in the rules in the new Horus Heresy stuff. I agree with you, Josh. The rule set for 40K is, I go, you go rule set. There's things I'd love to see. I'd love to see maybe a different way of alternating activations or this kind of thing. But at the end of the day, when you and I played a game of 40K, like I walked away feeling satisfied. I was like, that was fun.
I'm not playing 40K for its rules. I'm playing it for the experience.
Well, and I think that they have integrated things like stratagems you can use in your opponent's turn and things like that to make it feel more integrated.
There's a little bit more integration.
There's a long way to go. But
Horus Heresy has the reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. You either like it or you don't. You know what you're getting into at this point. I chose to invest heavily in 40K. I'm going to keep playing 40K.
Yeah.
So there you go. Your mileage may vary. I'm curious to see what 11th brings. I imagine it's just a small iteration off of 10th. They seem pretty happy with the way 10th is going. And I think the way they can expand, the way we were just talking about with armies and attachments and that kind of thing, offers extended life to it.
I mean, if you look at the last balanced data slate, which just came out this week,
There's hardly any changes.
there's hardly any changes at all. So
They even said in the narrative, they're like, we're pretty happy with where it sits.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It speaks exactly to what you just said. They're pretty happy with how it's balanced out. And if you look at the win rate for every faction, it's pretty close to what, they want that 45 to 55% window, and it's pretty much all there.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Yeah. If you look at actually like competitive commentary, like everybody was very disappointed that they didn't go more further. But I think honestly, they're just like, they're pivoting and they're getting ready for 11th. So.
Well, it's just crazy. All the comments
Williams, they stopped working on their car. last year.
Yeah,
'cause they worked on
exactly.
this year's
Exactly.
stuff. How's that worked out for him?
Well, I mean, I saw two distinct roads. One was, oh, they didn't do enough, and other people were like, I'm glad they didn't do much. It's like you can't. You're never going to win. You're never going to win. You're never going to win.
So you saw that they changed the Citadel paint pots now to Warhammer paint pots?
That video is hilarious.
I didn't see the video. I haven't seen the video.
Okay, so watch the video because that's me at the store.
What I'm going to tell you is I already saw like a thread where somebody's like created a meme where it's pointing to the old hexagon paint pot. It's like, oh, this is why these are all better. And this is, you changed pointless, not logo, but pointless change, blah, blah,
Name
blah.
changes and stuff.
Yeah, and somebody was like, well, somebody here doesn't understand marketing. Like that was like their response. And they're like, so what? And then one guy responds, yeah, the thing about Warhammer is like people just like to get upset about nothing. It's like the paint didn't change. They changed the name. I understand why they've actually changed the name. So they have a swap. Everything is Warhammer.
It's all Warhammer branded. Warhammer
the stores are Warhammer. They're not Games Workshop anymore. Citadel Paints is not a thing. It's Warhammer Paints.
Because before it was Games Workshop with Citadel Miniatures.
All one thing. Now, do I wish they would have gotten rid of the pots? Of course. I'd rather them go to something else.
The dropper bottles. Yeah.
Buy what you got. I don't even know about dropper bottles, man.
But the video is hilarious because it mirrors my experience.
I haven't seen
at
it
the
yet.
store.
I'll have to check it out.
It's like, so do you have paint for Warhammer? Yeah, the Citadel.
But I mean, that's a perfect example. Yeah, actually, you're well positioned to speak to this.
Yeah. So it's just funny. I think it's the one that really resonated the most was they have on the video, there's a very clearly like a grandma level woman. She comes in and goes, I'm looking for paint for Warhammer models. Do you have that? He says, oh yeah, the Citadel colored. She goes, the Citadel what?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was last Christmas.
Like, let's make life easier on everybody.
So it's Warhammer
name
paint.
change.
It's
That's
all
great.
Warhammer paint.
That's great.
Now, the names of the paints themselves, the colors hasn't changed.
No.
It's just the label has changed from Citadel color to Warhammer paints.
Yeah. So,
Super smart.
Anyway, all right. I think that's all we got for this section.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else to add to George there? George, thanks for leaving us a voice message. If you want to leave us a voice message, you can go to theindependentcharacters.com. It's on the right-hand side. There's a big orange button to start recording. You can record a voice message right there.
How long can it be?
Back to you. Up to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 minute, 59 seconds.
There you go.
I don't know. It could be 2 minutes.
Could be.
I think it is limited to 2 minutes.
And I will say George is right about the shards of the Nightbringer, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody
that was
wants
cool.
that.
Didn't even address that. Yeah, that's a really, like, when he brought that up, I was like, thank you, George.
Vindication.
It reminds me of those kind of gunmetal colored magnets. You put them on the table and they snap into
together.
each other.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
But in an apocalypse-sized battle, how
close
close do those two shards have to be to attract each other?
Yeah, but they're not systems
System.
apart.
Yeah.
So,
Even if they were. And if they snap together, do you get double the wounds on
Doubles
them?
up. But then he starts killing Necrons too. So
yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Yep.
should have done it.
All right, let's take a short break and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. And let's get into the main meat of the episode now that
Main
we've
topic.
wasted an hour talking about this and that.
Hobby nonsense.
As much as I think it's like sometimes I'm like, oh man, is this segment on too long? Like it's one of our most popular segments. So I put timestamps. If you don't like it, you can skip it. I'm cool with that too. Okay, so we want to talk a bit about model rescue and restoration, and because I recognize like things are getting more expensive. Just gas here has gone through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Groceries are more expensive. Hobby stuff's probably more expensive. We got in the US, we got stupid tariffs. We got, I don't care how you feel about it. The tariffs are stupid.
Yep.
Life is getting more expensive. So what are some ways that you can maybe save a little bit of money, and how can you get the results you want out of even saving money?
And there's another aspect of this is the nostalgia piece, because some people want to build armies that have that kind of nostalgia feel to it. And so this comes into play with that too.
That's a good point.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So kind of to kick off the discussion, I thought, what's the appeal of like secondhand armies? And I'll kind of start with, I hadn't really thought about it before. I had bought a few secondhand things here and there, especially early on in my 40K journey.
Yeah.
But who really showed me the potential of what you can do with it was Dave Paints. Because we've talked about Dave Paints before. Dave Paints is, if you don't know, is a commissioned painter. He's based out of the UK. Great guy. He painted Shell's Eldar, which we call the Sheldar.
Yep.
And he has kind of unlocked the secret of commission painting in terms of you have to be able to do it quickly, make it look good. Doesn't have to be necessarily the best thing ever.
Golden Demon, right?
Yeah. Not every detail perfectly edged.
Unless that's what you're paying for.
But the army overall looks fantastic.
But then he's not going for that. Yeah.
Right.
Thematically, he can whip out an army very quickly and then sell it. And so one of the things he would do is he would buy lots of used, and not lots isn't a whole bunch, but a lot, a portion,
a group of
models as an army that were either previously painted or were never painted or just primed or whatnot. He would buy that off eBay, paint it up to his standard very quickly, and then turn around and put it back on eBay.
Yeah.
Knowing and other locations.
For a tiny profit and a good force. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to sell it for a profit, but also knowing, well, the army itself is, if the person wants to expand on it, now they can reach back out to me and I can get a customer
building customers too.
Yeah. It's a very
smart.
clever idea. And so we talked a little bit about this several years ago, and for the most part, he would get these models, and some of them he'd have to rescue, and others were just fairly straightforward where he could just prime black over them and then start his painting process. So yeah, I mean, that was the first time I kind of became aware of like, oh, here's how you could do it, on a kind of larger scale. Yeah. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about like the economics of buying new versus buying used.
Yeah.
I think too, like, what's been your experience buying used?
So me, I've never bought a full army used. I've bought a couple
units,
of models, one off, even just individual models, really not full units. Where I have the most experience, and this is actually in 2nd to 3rd edition, when I was a broke kid, I would repaint my models as like, oh, I painted this army first. Now okay, I've progressed my skills. I'm going to strip it. I'm going to repaint it. This new chapter of
progress skills.
Yeah.
Your skills actually progressed.
Yeah. I've been doing this.
That's a different discussion we had.
Years. There's been
You
a
have
lot
to
of
take
progression.
24 painting classes, not 23. You're almost there, Adon.
Sorry, I'm ripping off a discussion we had on Discord.
You almost got the full
Adon has
card.
taken more painting courses than anybody I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he has lower confidence in his painting skills than anybody I know. And actually, I know that you can paint better than you think you can. Like, I've seen your Titans and stuff. Like, it looks good.
Okay.
There's progression there.
It looks good. He doesn't think there is, but there is.
Okay. So anyway, so you
He doesn't
from 2nd
get
to 3rd
comfortable when it's about Adon. He's not comfortable. You notice that?
Yeah.
You repaint it from 2nd edition.
So this is starting in 2nd edition. I had a Space Marine army that I first painted up as it was a lesser known chapter that was called White Panthers. It was a black and white color scheme. So in this, again, 2nd edition, mostly metal models, started out really small army. It was like a tactical squad, a dreadnought, a devastator squad, and maybe a predator. And that was like enough to play with in 2nd edition. Games are obviously much larger now. But like I painted that and, played with it for a couple of years, and it's like, okay, like I can paint this better. I want to reapproach this. So I stripped it and then repainted it as Ultramarines, and especially because I was able to now do decals and things like that, because I had all the like actual Ultramarine decals, because I definitely didn't have the freehand skills back then to do a bunch of custom chapter icons. So I stripped it and then painted for Ultramarines, and progressed the skill set, unlocked decals, did more with shading and highlights and things like that. And then like tail end of 2nd and 3rd edition, again being like, it was like high school for me, was 3rd edition. So I stripped it again and repainted it as Black Templars. I'm like, okay, I want to paint black. That's a totally different experience from blue. Or had a little bit with the white and black on the white scars, or not white scars, white Panthers. From that first army, but like the skill set in that, 5-year period, like I definitely progressed as a painter in that time, and just unlocked different ways of playing also. And that's like 3rd edition also released and coincidentally happened to have Black Templars featured in the box set, which I just had, got lucky that I had already been painting that way. Not that it really mattered back in 3rd edition, because the chapters didn't play wildly different unless you were playing Blood Angels or Dark Angels or Space Wolves. But using that one kind of basis of an army and then expanding, like 3rd edition, obviously we had the new like plastic tacticals and things like that. So I was really in 3rd edition, just changed the game so much. I really expanded the army from there as Black Templars because that's where I'd focus things. But yeah, getting multiple lives out of one army as a kid who just like I didn't have the disposable income to add stuff to it. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna repaint this and I'm gonna add to my skill set and not add to the collection.
What about you, Don? You've bought quite a few used models online in the past. Yeah.
That's when my whole beginning of my experience was almost always buying stuff that was already built and very often built and painted. For me, it was a couple different things. One was, I had 2 kids and a mortgage and didn't have a lot of, like you were saying, disposable incomes. Yeah. Both my kids were doing music stuff and stuff was expensive. And so I had this method for like eBay. I decide what I was willing to pay and I wouldn't pay any more than that. Yeah. And if that unit went away, I would look for the next one. And that's how I ended up acquiring pretty much all of my first 2 armies. So my first 2 armies were Grey Knights and Sisters of Battle. And they were all metal models back then. And so for a while, like my sisters, you could tell which unit was which because they were painted differently because they were from different eBay lots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I used to just buy stuff. And so I had I don't remember the exact thing, but if it was built and painted and cost, it was 75% of retail, then that's all I would pay. And I ended up with 2 complete armies doing it that way, just being patient. And being able to wait for the stuff to come out. And that's where I first started getting into the idea of doing rescues and doing things that where you couldn't just put it on the table. You had to actually do something with it before you could actually use it. But
Jason McCurry was really good at that, like back in the day, like hunting eBay for stuff.
Yeah.
And he would like not only buy low, but then turn around and resell and then buy.
Yeah, I didn't do all that stuff. I was buying stuff to use it. So, so it was just, that was kind of my experience originally of buying used stuff. It has morphed over time in the way that I do it now, but that's how I started.
Yeah. I think when I started off early on, especially as I got more into the game, I bought several Forge World models on eBay or other sites or traded for them.
Yeah.
And they would come in. Actually, my first, which one was it? I bought the giant Bloodthirster, the Forge World Bloodthirster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bought a Cestus Assault Ram. I bought, and that one I stripped right away. I bought...
all of your Nurgle Terminators, they were bought new?
They were all new.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I bought a bunch of Forge World stuff through that, which requires a little bit more diligence as you strip it. We'll talk about that later. Yep. But I have also purchased, especially early on, lots of these individual units or vehicles, and those things would sometimes arrive in. Like sometimes you look at a picture and you'd be like, oh, it looks like it's painted okay. And then it'd arrive and you're like, yeah, this is not what it looked like quite in the picture, or it wasn't assembled particularly well.
Yeah. I mean, I've done literally, I counted up one time, purchased hundreds of eBay models.
I have no doubt.
And
that's a Griffin's of Justice probably came out of that.
Yes, it did. And what was interesting to me is just the method that things were packed.
Yeah.
So I'd get something like, oh yeah, it looks pretty well painted. It would get there and it would still be pretty well painted in
Pieces.
Pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a couple of times where this person, I'm trying to be nice, just threw them in a box.
Yeah.
No wrapping, no nothing.
Just
I get
shipped
the
it
box and it's like rattling. Like, oh, this is not going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially if it was metal models.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially and then the plastic and metal.
Non-pinned metal bottle.
So I mean, eBay back in the day was kind of good. I think now if you go look at Warhammer and eBay, you get just lots of boxes. Like people are using
people use it as a
storefronts.
retail site.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's lost some of that. But there are other aspects, other ways to get what you're looking for. There.
There's other sales sites that have really come up.
Sales, trade groups, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of stuff.
Early internet days,
Right.
before digital cameras were a thing.
Yeah.
I did a trade. It was my metal box dreadnought, my second edition metal box dreadnought, for what I thought was going to be a bloodthirster. And what I got instead was the gargoyle from Hero Quest.
Oh,
and I was like, no. Like, this again before digital cameras. So
Yeah.
Well, early on, when I was first starting, I didn't really know that much about Warhammer. I didn't know like some of the lingo and and so it's like, oh, an Inquisitor model. I'm going to buy this. Man, this looks really well painted. And so I buy this Inquisitor model, and it was really well painted. It was a 54 millimeter Inquisitor.
Oh yeah.
From the game Inquisitor, and I was like, what is this thing?
It's too
and
big.
one of the guys in the game goes, oh, that's from Inquisitor. I was like, no, it's an Inquisitor.
Yes.
No.
From Inquisitor.
From Inquisitor. And I didn't even know the game existed back then. And I'm like, oh.
But I mean,
I still have him. Very well painted. The guy with the sword up. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And I have him on the shelf, and he's really well painted. I like it a lot. It's just.
But also, I remember early
I
on,
mine on eBay. I wonder if you bought mine.
early on in my 40K career, I mean, assembling squads of Marines, and then you're realizing like, oh, all of these shoulder pads mean different things,
Right,
You
yeah.
know, and I was just putting together guys that I thought looked cool, until I really understood what it was I was doing, and I think so that leads me kind of down the path of, if anybody bought those, they were going to pull those things apart and rescue them,
Right.
And then, so Adon, what was kind of your first rescued army or force that you?
That was the Sisters and Grey Knights were the ones that I.
You just mentioned that. Yeah. I think for me, the first thing I ever bought online was a Rhino that came in. It was like not particularly assembled very well.
Yeah.
Big gaps in the plates and glued together pretty awfully. But
that was back. Was that the old Diamos Rhino?
Nope.
It was. Oh, it's the current one.
No. Yeah, I came into the game late 4th edition.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but at the time, I mean, I remember looking at it and being disappointed in how it was, but it was like, well, it is what it is. And we're still playing. We weren't, this is all pre-airbrush for us. We weren't necessarily painting things, very well. Times have changed. And then, I think, do you have one model that you bought that like kind of, that you rescued, like you received it, rescued it, and it came out better than you expected?
I did the old metal Bellicor.
Oh yeah,
One of the,
that's a great model.
It was a great sculpt. So I did a eBay rescue of that model, which I think was assembled with rubber cement.
Oh boy!
Wow!
And it's
metal.
It's metal model, but like it's a fine metal model. It's not bulky, and rubber cement is never use it on metal.
Never.
So yeah, had it.
It's like using hot glue.
Put it in simple green. Strip the paint. The rubber cement just peeled off. Like there's nothing actually adhesing there. Pinned it, painted it for 8th edition.
Yeah.
And was very happy with the results. And this is obviously before the new model came out, and he got a big glow up in size and scale and new plastic model. But
he's one of the models that really benefited. Like the other one's still good.
Yeah.
Man, the new one is
that. Yeah. I mean, the old metal it's still a great model, but he's just tiny compared to the new one, which is fantastic. But yeah, that obviously was a big glow up from just a very shoddy construction and slapped on paint job to I was able to do it good justice to have it be like, this is the leader of my 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battles Demon Army. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For me, it was a Eldar Wave Serpent. After we had commissioned everything through Dave Paints for Shell's Eldar, we decided we wanted a few more units, and I was like, well, am I going to send these Dave Paints? But Dave was like really forthcoming with here's the paints I used and
Yeah.
and kind of walked me through it a little bit. And so I was able to replicate his paint scheme relatively. I was very proud of how I did it.
Yeah, nice.
But I was able to buy a couple wave serpents and then just like add those to the force relatively easily and was really proud of. When I received them, they required a little bit of fixing, some pieces missing or whatnot, that I went into my bits box and replaced but once I had them in hand and got them painted up, they're great.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What about you, Don?
Yeah, I had I bought an Inquisitor model. It was actually 28 millimeter Inquisitor, but I got it and the paint was not great. And I wanted to match Inquisitor that was from some of the artwork. And so I was able to strip it down, find little pieces and bits that work, get it put together, and I painted them like, oh wow, this actually does look like the art. Oh, and
Nice.
It was one of those things where I really hadn't done much converting or kit bashing like that before.
Yeah.
And so it was relatively early on in the process, I guess. And it was cool to see how, because I'm not one of those people who can look at something and go, oh, this would be cool if I took this piece from XYZ kit and did this. Oh. And so with the fact that I was able to kind of actually make it look like the picture, I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you found a suspiciously cheap model or lot of models to buy. Now, so let's talk about first off where you can buy stuff. I alluded to eBay earlier, and eBay's. I hadn't purchased something on eBay in quite a while, or sold something on eBay in quite a while.
Yeah.
And I went and sold something recently, and I was actually shocked at like the amount of fees.
Pretty
and stuff
significant fees these
Yeah,
days.
it's really evolved.
It's just not what
Or
it used
devolved.
to be.
Yeah.
I would argue. Yeah, I think you're right, Adon. It's just not what it used to be. It used to be literally the marketplace of the internet where you could buy and sell stuff less expensively, and now there's so many things you got to watch for on site. I mean, you can still, I think, I would imagine, find deals here and there, but I have moved on from eBay at this point to other options.
Yeah, the thing on eBay is just making sure that you're paying really close attention to
Shipping.
shipping, but the user ratings and stuff like that, and actually read some of the comments,
read the reviews,
and really pay attention to that, because
and the lot descriptions too.
yes.
Picture says a lot, but actually read the fine print in there.
Right. And don't be afraid to send a question.
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple times where it says, as pictured, but the title was not what the model was.
Right.
You send a message, you go, okay, so this is what it says. And so what is actually in it? Whatever. I mean, just if you have a question, don't feel bad about asking the question. And if you get attitude back or don't get a response at all, then you need to move on.
Move on. Yeah.
Because it's not
the
worth
sale
it.
you're looking for.
No, not at all.
What have you moved on to from eBay? Like what other sites are you using when you purchase things?
Two spots that I've sold more through versus buy these days, but locally we have the Game Castle Flea Market, which is a great source for sourcing Second Life models.
For sure.
Buying and moving on. You can
Game Castle is one of our local game stores, and they'll have a flea market once a quarter.
And a lot of different areas have game stores that will do commission or consignment sales.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a place to look is check out your local game store.
And in the Bay Area, we have a very large local group of people like spread out throughout the Bay Area that are into the hobby in various forms. So that's always a good spot to find some deals on either buying or selling.
Yeah, Arizona Baxter's
models.
was a place that had a lot of consignment models.
Yeah. Online, the spot that I've been using most with great success is the Barter Bucket, which is a Facebook group started by some of the Santa Cruz Warhammer guys.
Yep.
It's grown from a local thing to
now it's at least
international.
The US. I don't know if it is international or not. Probably.
There's several different Warhammer sales sites now.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
But it's a rated system. It's a private marketplace that you have to be added to and be accepted into,
and can't get kicked out of if you're a jerk.
Kicked out. Yeah. There's not an official rating system, although maybe using Facebook Marketplace's rating system it does now. It's been a while since I've sold big units or big blocks of stuff. But I've had a lot of success selling armies in the past or just models that I have moved on from the project idea.
And there's buy sell threads on Reddit as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen stuff there. I haven't actually
or trade.
Trade.
Too.
Yeah. I haven't actually done anything through it. because to me, Reddit's awesome. There's lots of great stuff on there, but it's way more anonymous.
It is.
than Facebook or eBay. And so you really are taking your life in your hands, and you're making a leap of faith.
Be careful handing that address out.
Yeah,
Find a public meetup spot.
Yeah. So it's interesting to,
Discord as well.
Yeah.
yeah. And different Discord groups, but that you kind of have to be part of a group that's doing that.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I mean, we even have a Discord
trade
thing in there.
Trade commission. Yeah.
I mean, that was not our objective, was to set up a trading group, right? But I mean, I'll tell you, the Facebook Marketplace stuff has worked really well for me in the past, in particular in board games too. Like, I actually had to leave groups because I was just
buying too much.
I was just buying too much. I was like,
really
I
good
need to-
deal.
Yeah, well, that's a good deal and something I'm looking for.
The other thing is to look at local events or local conventions like KublaCon or Adepticon or whatever what you have in your area, because very often they'll have flea market days or swap meet days. Adepticon actually has this really cool thing. I think it's on Thursday night where you can buy a table and put all your stuff out there and trade and buy stuff. It gets super crowded.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Oh yeah, and the KublaCon one, I mean, they actually had to start like monitoring the door because you were so packed in.
Yeah.
Everybody's like storming the flea market.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yep.
And they also had, I don't know if they still do, but KublaCon used to also have auctions for board games in particular.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple things you talked earlier about, like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like some questions you want to ask are like, what was used to glue this metal model together?
Was it rubber cement?
And sometimes that's okay. Okay, it was rubber cement. I know I'm going to be able. I
can fix
be able
that.
to fix and remove that.
I can pin
Right.
that.
Right.
Well, but the other reason that's important is if it's a plastic model and they say they've used super glue and you want to change something, you're going to have a much easier time changing it
Than if it were plastic.
glue.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Or get comfortable cutting it up.
Right.
Yeah. You also, speaking of that, you may want to ask if anything's been stripped before.
Right.
Like, in general, things, if they're carefully stripped, can be stripped multiple times without issue.
Yeah.
And without loss of detail, especially metal models.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But even plastic models, resin models, different approach. So you got to be just cautious. But I mean, as long as everything was stripped fine and you can see pictures of it, it looks fine. You're probably in good shape.
Yeah, you from a visual check, embrace digital cameras. You can usually see if like the paint or the primer's really thickly applied, if the paint's chalky, and that'll give you some hints on how you want to strip it. A good question to ask is if an army has been sealed or not. If it's been
Good question.
Yeah, it's with a varnish, either a matte glossy satin varnish, because that will make things a little bit harder if you want to kind of reset.
Especially for plastics.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or if somebody has used like Tamiya paint as opposed to like regular acrylic paint.
Yeah.
That enamel paint.
That's forever.
Especially on the old metals back in the day, we used to paint them with Tamiya, which was an enamel paint, and
that's all there
testers.
was. Yeah.
that's all there was. Yeah. Testers. Yeah. Not Tamiya testers.
That was my first model was a tester. My first D&D model.
Yeah. Testers and enamels.
And if you're looking at anything, especially anything Forge World related, you may want to check, is this resin or is this recast or is this actual model? I have had things sold to me that were billed as Forge World official, but when I get them, I can tell that this is certainly not. And now in this day and age too, there's a lot of 3D printed stuff as well, which is very close. So
got to be careful with that.
Just be careful.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on your goal too. If you want something, if you don't mind, that's fine. But see if you can find out up front, and that I think that's important. The other thing that is to ask, especially if if you're going to buy a unit of Cadians, right? And maybe they're already assembled or they're already painted, whatever. Ask if they have the rest of the sprue.
Yeah, good call.
Are the rest of the sprues included, or will you include the rest of the sprue, all the bits? So, because some people,
or are there any bits missing?
Right, or anything missing? Yeah, because some people they'll say, "Hey, I built this unit. I'm not playing this army anymore." And the sprues are included. Right. Or they're partially assembled.
Yeah.
But all the sprues are there.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Like one of the great things for Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines is if you can find somewhere they've only built the legs and the torsos.
Oh.
but they include
That's
the
handy.
sprues.
Yeah.
It's like now you can kit them out however you want.
It's actually a perfect storm right there. So there are some red flags, right? Melted plastic, which means they've tried to strip it with like acetone or something stronger than they should have. Poorly stored resin models, if they're stored in like a very warm area,
Get
or
some warpage from the heat.
Do a lot of zooming in with the photos.
resin models are
That's hard.
Cautious. You gotta be cautious on the resin, especially if this model's fine cast. I would just steer you away from that.
Yep.
Even if they're intact in the photos, but like shipping, just getting like thrown around shipping and
stripping fine cast is not gonna I would just say avoid those as much as you can. And you mentioned excessive paint earlier, where if you see something that has like stuff caked on, that's not necessarily like those are actually when I see the eBay rescue.
Those are the best.
Those are
ones.
some of the best ones he brings back to life. But boy, you gotta really be ready to work on.
Usually at a quick glance, though, you can tell if it's like it's really thickly applied primer, or if just somebody was just like ham-fistedly throwing paint on a model.
The other red flag are all the models primed black that you see? Because sometimes what guys will do is they'll just take a poorly painted unit and just spray black primer over it,
Right.
and say, "Oh, it's just primed." So just be aware. Like there's ask a lot of questions.
It's like the old motorcycle joke. Only one crash.
That's right. That's right.
It takes one.
You talked about purchasing earlier, Don, and you were like, just move on or wait.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I've learned the most of is
Be
like
patient.
wait.
Yeah.
There will always be another deal.
Yeah.
There will always be another deal.
Yeah.
I don't care how rare that model is. It will come up for sale again from somebody else. Like if it is not within, I liked your idea where you were like, Adon, you're like, I took it at 75% of value. That was it.
Right. And it depends on the thing. So like I have a couple of stored searches on eBay, for example. Like I was looking for the old metal arbite auto gun.
Yeah.
Which was not a very common build.
Yeah.
And occasionally you get your email saying, one match, and you look at it, it's $15. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And eventually I was just being patient because I wasn't trying to build this army by June or whatever. I wanted to be able to have the options to put those models in there. And so just by being patient, I was able to get those, right?
Yeah.
I wanted my all metal sisters army. The Seraphim is one of the new units in the book, and they are a bolt pistol and a power sword.
Yeah.
Well, there was a cast of a bolt pistol and power sword in the old metal models, but it was very, very rare.
Yeah.
So that was one of my searches that I had on hold, and I have a unit of Seraphim.
Interesting.
It just took time.
Yeah. Just one at a time.
Yeah, you just have to be careful and just pay attention.
Be patient and decide before you even start looking what it's worth to you.
Right. Exactly.
Like that's the key.
Exactly.
Right.
And I mean, if you look at, so if you want to buy a character model from GW right now in plastic, you're looking at $35 to $48.
Sure.
Right. And so if you're looking to search for like an old metal, like let's say I want to build a nostalgic army that has the old version of Abaddon, just for example, just throwing out a name, or Bellicor.
Say because I've got bad taste.
Well, whatever.
You may want to do it for historical purposes,
right? Or I want to use this old character that I knew existed, and I want to use it as something else. Whatever. So if I was going to buy this thing new in plastic in the thing, it was going to cost me $38 to $48, $50. Okay, so maybe that's where my line is, right? Or maybe I want it to be whatever, 80% of that, 75% of that, whatever. But just as long as you set your limit and you know what it is, and then sometimes you go, you know what, I've been waiting long enough. I'll pay the extra $3.
That's up to you.
And
at
so
that point.
Your time versus effort kind of thing, kind of comes into play. The other thing I found, sorry to ramble on, but I've done a lot of second market buying.
You're the right guy to have on this episode.
Yeah. You'll find certain vendors on eBay or Facebook Marketplace who kind of do this for a living. This is their thing, right? And you get used to them, or you get familiar with them, and then sometimes they'll have their own mailing lists that are off the site.
Yeah.
And like Noble Knight Games is
They're always
retailer.
actually looking to buy stuff.
Yeah, they have buy lists, but also if you're on their email list, you'll see stuff that they're going to put up on eBay or maybe before it gets up on eBay,
Right.
and they'll have some really good deals.
Right.
I got a Moirex from them for like half the cost.
Yeah.
And it was assembled and primed. And I was like, this looks pretty good. And that's the other thing is I know that if they give a listing for something, they'll tell you, you'll have a good sense of whether it's of value or not. And I got this model. I'm like, this thing is great. So but you only learn that over time.
All right. So you found the models you want. They arrive. They look terrible, or they look great, but you really want to change the color scheme.
You want them to be White Panthers.
Yeah, you want to be White Panthers.
Not anymore.
As we move into this next section, I just want to, say, specifically, like, make sure you're following instructions on some of the materials we're talking about here, because, glues and stripping materials and those kinds of things can be hazardous to breathe. So make sure you're doing an open area, solvents, that kind of thing. Just read
the packages.
Reading the package instructions.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And here's the other thing.
PPE, personal protective equipment.
So here's the other thing. There's 100 different ways to kind of do this thing.
Yep.
And we're going to land on the ones that have worked for us. There are products that are sold in the U.S. that are not sold overseas and vice versa. We are U.S. based, so that's where we have the most knowledge to speak of. But when you go to strip models, when you go to clean off models, you want to make sure, especially if you're using strong solvents, you have gloves on, you're working in a well-ventilated area, you have eye protection, separate tools than you're going to use for kitchen use, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. For plastic models,
Yes.
I have had great success in removing paint from these models with a product out here called Simple Green.
Yep.
Which I have stuck into a bucket full of Simple Green, maybe mixed with a little bit of water sometimes, and left for 24 hours. Come in, scrub it, see what's left, maybe leave it for a little bit longer.
And scrub it, meaning like with an old toothbrush.
Yeah.
Not the toothbrush you use every day. An
please
old
don't.
toothbrush.
I've actually found this. So, pro tip for both cleaning new resin models that you get, but
Yeah.
also scrubbing old models this way. If you use an electric toothbrush, I just keep one of the old heads when it's you replace it every 4 months. I'll just Sharpie a bunch of X's on the bottoms. I was like, don't use this on my teeth, but I'll save those and then I can use the electric toothbrush to help strip models. And it does a great job.
And then your models also smell minty fresh.
Yeah, I mean, so there you have Simple Green, but also in that same kind of category, you have LA Awesome, Purple Power. There all those kinds of pine salt, all those kinds of things are about the same. They're kind of detergent paste cleaners.
Yeah. And so from my experience, I have put plastic models in this. I've put resin models in this, and it has worked well for both.
I've done metal models.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've done metal models as well. You can use stronger things on metal models. We'll get to that. But Simple Green seems to work pretty well, and it does take a while. I've seen people do different things where they like seal them in jars or whatever. I've just left it in a bucket of Simple Green.
I did little I don't remember what the brand name is, but it's the gelato containers with a lid.
Oh yeah.
So you can it's good for. So this is what I did with Bellicor, is a little like gelato container with a lid. You can agitate it without having any worry of spilling it because it's a sealed container.
What a California guy, gelato. He has gelato things,
Hey.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey.
But it worked really well. So Simple Green with the model
be
in
an
there,
East
and
Coast
then
thing,
just
too.
a little bit of agitation. And,
Yeah.
And the electric toothbrush head stripped it right
I
up.
will say I have left models in there too long and had them become very, very soft and pliable and ruined. That was multiple weeks.
Yeah.
Also,
Takes a while.
I've stripped the chrome off of an airbrush with Simple Green.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving it in there for multiple
Yeah.
weeks. My own fault. So lessons learned, don't do that. So, but basically I soak it in there. I come out, I scrub off what I can scrub off. I rinse it off. I put it back in there. I scrub off what I can scrub off, the next day. And usually by then I have almost everything off.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. Like there's still maybe little bits of paint somewhere. Those I'm going to rinse the model off completely, removing all the Simple Green, and then wait for those to dry completely. And then when I prime it, it basically works.
I've gone in with, especially with the metal ones after the first run through or second, using a dental tool,
Yeah.
picking out some of the last little bits that are kind of crammed in the crevices. I haven't done that as much with the plastic models because I find the plastic models strip easier.
Yeah.
But that works great for the metal ones.
We also talked about, so that's just stripping the paint, but let's say the model's assembled poorly. There's a number of things there too. We talked about different types of glue.
Yeah.
Plastic glue or plastic cement being that's how it is. That's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can always try applying plastic glue onto a plastic glue seam because it does melt. So the best way to loosen up plastic glue is to use a little bit more plastic glue.
But you're effectively melting the model.
Effectively melting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the seams tend to have less points of contact, so you're more likely to break the seam than melt another part of the model. So it's worth a shot, but
I always call this part performing surgery.
Yeah.
Because you're careful. I've pried apart like rhinos and Land Raiders before so that I can reseal
something
them.
with the more longer linear connections are going to be easier to do that with. If you're trying to pry off shoulder pads, raising my hand, I've had to try and do this a lot. Shoulder pads, arms, your results are not going to be nearly.
They will
good.
vary.
But like you were saying, with vehicles, sometimes it's really easy to pop them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, if the things have been assembled with super glue, another method that you may have heard is putting them in the freezer.
Works great.
And it causes the glue to become brittle, and then you can pop. I've been able to successfully pop off shoulder pads and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's my regular method for painting my models is I put one little spot of super glue onto the base. And when I'm done painting it, I just put it in the freezer and pop it off, and then I can do all my basing.
Yeah.
I do that with everything I paint.
A lot of times I don't even need to put it in the freezer for that.
Yeah, I mean,
but if it's stuck hard enough, I will put it in the freezer.
I always scared, so I put it in the freezer.
No, most times I just, like you, I put like one little drop and then I pop it off. Later.
And they also actually sell I don't know I don't know if it's a solvent base or whatever, but they sell kind of an anti-super glue. That
I've heard of this.
That it comes in it looks like the same container, but it's a distinct color, and it's like a bright green.
Oh, interesting.
And it'll disassemble your super glue.
The antithesis of an activator. It's the deactivator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So with plastic models, with resin models, you want to avoid really harsh chemicals like super harsh degreasers or acetone or something like that. Acetone,
brake fluid. A lot of people were using brake fluid for stripper for a while.
Yeah, I don't
on
know
metal models.
On metal.
Yeah, we were saying what not to use on.
Do not use those.
Yeah.
On metal models, you can be a lot more aggressive on that kind of thing. Like, but you don't have to be. Is typically my point. Like when you start talking about using acetone or
brake fluid
and stuff, it's like now you better be wearing gloves.
Yeah, it's hazmat stuff.
Yeah, and so from my experience, if the model is sealed, that's probably going to be your best bet for getting it
to cut through that.
So I have a question for you guys. I've seen people talk about this. I've never tried it. 91% isopropyl.
That will strip models pretty well too.
Yeah, I haven't tried it, but I see people talking about it.
I've tried it accidentally. I have tried it accidentally where I've spilled it on a painted model, and sure enough, that paint came right off.
Yeah, okay.
It'll reactivate, and it's funny. Any kind of like acrylic or latex based paint,
that'll pull it right
91% does a pretty good job of cleaning up.
Yeah, okay.
I would say I don't know that I want to soak something in that for any length of time.
Right. No, it would be something you pretty much put on your toothbrush and
can wipe off.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say with that is just make sure you're being careful with the type of brush because you don't want to use a brush where the bristles are too stiff.
Yeah.
I always use soft toothbrush.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You don't need steel wool or a wire brush here.
Wire brush.
Even on a metal model.
Yeah.
No,
it's
don't
still
do
soft
that.
pewter.
You're going to scratch it up.
You don't want to use something that's harder than the
item.
The item, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and again, I would say, for metal models, you can go harsher if you need to. Usually I'd only need to do that if it was sealed and the other method was not working. I will say Simple Green doesn't seem to penetrate a sealed model very well. Once you have that seal on there, that's pretty much how it is.
I will also say that I think most secondhand models you're finding that are probably in need of more rescue are less likely to be sealed.
100%. Okay, 99%. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the fact that they need that rescue means they were probably painted by somebody who just doesn't have the experience yet to get them out. And so they're, one, they may not even know about seal, and two, they're going to not bother.
Well, I have to say, I'm at the point where I don't do a lot of sealing at all, because with plastic models, with the paints we have these days, unless you're like rubbing it against your clothing and stuff like that repeatedly, you're not going to rub the paint off just by using it in a game.
I think it depends on the model for me. Metal models, I certainly.
Well, yeah, metal
models
models different. I'm just talking about the plastic models with the current type of paints that we're using these days. I find that I almost never have a problem with not sealing them. With the metal models, absolutely, they get sealed.
I will seal, especially if I'm doing oil washes and that kind of thing. Is where,
you have to. Yeah.
But just for
You
the
don't
sake
have
of
to.
protection. You know,
I don't for my Necromunda models because I love the filter effect that it gets for unsealed oil wash on Necromunda. Like it's a really good weathering.
I never really thought about that part. Yeah.
So anyway, I would say be cautious there. And then resin, for the most part, I treat resin just like plastic. I'm just more careful with it when I am using a toothbrush or something like that. I just it can be more brittle, but Simple Green has worked great for me in the past on those, again, trying to separate pieces of a resin model from each other is also a little more hazardous.
Yeah. And I think I would be a little bit more hesitant to use alcohol on the resin, because I think it makes it a little bit more brittle. Am I?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never had to. I've always just used and like I think the largest model I stripped was that giant bloodthirster.
Yeah.
At one point, and I put them in a bucket of 50/50, simple green, and I was able to scrub almost everything off of them, no problem.
That's a big model.
Cestus Assault Ram as well. Yeah. I dunked that thing. That was the first big resin model. I was like, I'm going to strip this thing, and I was like, okay. And I just had this bucket, and I said, well, it is what it is. And I dunked it in there. And I mean, that thing was a hollow model too.
Yeah.
So it filled up with, but it came off great. Yeah. Next thing I knew, I had an ultramarine.
And I'll say, if you're having a stubborn experience with a model, just multiple rounds of
just be patient,
scrubbing, like you don't need more force. Just, be patient.
Just like when you went to purchase it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and a lot of this stuff will end up coming down to, what's your time worth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you're going to buy a secondhand model and wait to get the right price, and they're going to have to re-strip it, and you're going to have to reassemble it and all that kind of stuff, are you really saving enough that you shouldn't just have bought it new and done it yourself?
Yeah.
Now,
this is a good point.
For something that's out of print, sure, you're going to have to be careful about making that value assessment or that value judgment. But I've had things where I bought it, and I get like halfway through the process, and I think,
this is costing me more.
This is costing me more in terms of my time than. But if you don't have the money, then that's a moot point.
Yeah. So I want to kind of skip down our notes here a little bit because we've kind of jumped through a lot of these already. I think going into repairing techniques, one of the things we find, especially with metal models, that need rescue, they've never been pinned. Yeah. So pinning the model will help a lot. Filling in the gaps with green stuff to provide smooth seams for the models.
Have either one of you ever used the liquid green stuff?
I
have
honestly loved it.
Oh, interesting.
I really liked it. I don't think they sell it anymore. Do they? Oh, do they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought they had. I'm going to buy some.
They sell liquid green stuff. I have had people expect it to do stuff it's not designed for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not designed for major gaps.
No.
It's designed for smaller gaps. And I have had people, but it didn't even fill the gaps. Like, well, no, you need to go buy the stuff that you mix by hand.
On metal models and resin models, I think it did a decent job, or I would just use actual green stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say on plastic models, something we haven't talked about, but I think this fits here well, is some sprue goo if you're using plastic glue, which is essentially a plastic liquid green stuff.
Yeah. So I think you want to explain how you would make sprue glue?
Yeah. So if you take a bottle of plastic glue and then you dump a bunch of sprue parts into it, it's roughly 1-to-1. That you get what turns into essentially a very
liquid
pliable liquid plastic that is fantastic for gap filling and mold line removals potentially.
And the Tamiya green,
the extra fine,
Tamiya green, Tamiya glue is a great one to use because it has a brush in it.
Yeah.
So don't use your Model Masters or GW glue bottle for this because it won't flew through that tube. But the Tamiya one and
I've never done that before.
You don't use plastic glue that much, though, right?
No.
Yeah, you're mostly super glue.
yeah,
Gap filling.
Justin
I think
Kiefer
it's by
does
far the best way to go.
He's a big sprue goo kind of guy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
I mean, even if you assemble something with plastic glue, but then you went to go fill gaps with
Yeah,
this,
you use this
you
stuff.
could absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. There are certain models I use plastic glue on for sure, especially big terrain pieces. I use.
Oh, yeah. Just
Where
the
they were
strength of
plastic.
bond.
Yeah, just the strength of it. Yeah, it's super helpful. All right, where were we? Liquid green stuff. I actually really quite like, especially on small models that have gaps. A lot of the
small gaps. Yeah.
A lot of the newer plastic models are so
They're
well
well
done to bleed together and in locations that don't really that hide the seams.
And if you do
sometimes.
a good job with your dry fitting, you can see exactly where you need to scrape stuff down to make sure it fits better and stuff like that.
How many times do you dry fit?
It depends.
3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minimum. Yeah. and enough for it to count as hobby progress.
There you go. And then the other thing you may do as you're rebuilding these things is you may find that certain parts of these are unsalvageable for some reason, and that's where you go to your bits box.
Yeah.
Right.
I've definitely just cut shoulder pads off of models, and you can cut it and shape where
100%
be enough to apply a
different
new shoulder
shoulder
pad.
pad,
Over.
You go to tear the
Just
shoulder
shave
pad
it
off,
down,
and it comes off with part of the arm, and
Right,
you're like,
yeah.
well, okay.
Here's
I'll stick a little bit of
stuff
green
and-
stuff
yeah.
there and stick a shoulder pad over it.
I've also gone to a train store or a Hobby USA and gotten the plastic tubing and used that for barrels and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
On tanks and
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
places where you can use plastic card style plastic. What's it called?
Styrene.
Yeah.
Polystyrene.
Because they make it in tubes and in dowels and in rods, and a lot of times you can use that for things. It may not look exactly the same, but from 4 feet away, you don't. After it's been painted, it looks just fine.
Yeah.
And so there are lots of different resources out there for doing those kinds of repairs as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a metal 2nd edition Vindicare Assassin.
Yep.
And the barrel, the just tip of the barrel broke off.
Right.
Because it's a very long sniper rifle
right.
on that model. So I had to pin there.
It's
but
metal?
then it's metal.
Yeah, the minute it bends,
2nd
too,
edition.
it's like, now it's weaker.
As soon as it bends, it's weaker. And eventually it snapped off because I've had this model for 35 almost years now.
Yeah.
Probably 30, but still. So to fix it exactly, I did just that, which was to pin in the metal into the main body of the gun, and then use a polystyrene little thin
Dowel.
tube
Yep.
for the barrel, and then drilled out the very end of the barrel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gave it a second life.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. And this assumes you have a bits box that you can go to with all these things, or you get these, but there's also you can go to various bit sites. You could trade with friends. There are other ways to acquire the bits necessary to repair a model.
Yeah. There's a couple because there are a couple of eBay sellers that they just specialize in bits.
Yeah.
So just practice your search techniques in there, and you can find stuff. Now you're going to be paying more.
You're going to pay a premium.
Yeah, but if you're trying to maybe do a whole unit with a certain type of look, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
A lot of those bits eBay sellers will do combined shipping. So if you can find one seller that you can get as many bits from, they'll just charge you shipping once. Or maybe they'll tack on 5-15 cents, something like that for each additional item. But there's definitely ways to save money that way. You're still paying more than.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about, integrating the models into your collection and a few other tips. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back with a few more tips before we then move into closing out the show. But let's talk about now getting whatever you've rescued. You've got it primed. You've cleaned it up. You've fixed all the gaps. You've removed mold lines that the guy forgot to remove or gal forgot to remove and painted over and
Drilled the barrels.
you drilled the barrels.
Drill the barrels, yeah.
And replaced bits that were broken. You've got it primed now. And now how do you get it to match, fit in with the rest of your army that already exists?
Yeah.
This is assuming you're not starting from scratch. One of the, other than just painting it in the same schemes that you're painting your
Although
army.
that's an important feature is to actually keep a recipe of how you painted stuff.
That's what I was going to say. So
yeah.
go, how do you keep your recipes?
I
Send it to Painted Figs.
I'm not super good about actually writing down the recipes. I always tell myself I'm going to do it and then I don't. But what I do almost every time is when I finish a unit, I take a picture with all the paints that I used. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the black that I used, or that's the green that I used. And so it's not 100%, but it's better than.
That's what I do temporarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what I should do is write it all down and keep a notebook. And
I use the Notes app on my phone. I'm always going to have it with me and just write down the paints that I used, what I used for highlights, how I mixed them, like the ratios for mixes and things like that. And
I write all that down.
it's always in my pocket.
I write all that down in an email in my Gmail account and mail it to myself. And then I file it. I have a folder for paint schemes and I just file it in there. So if I go to paint my sisters, or if I go to paint any of my chaos stuff, like I just go to that and it tells you literally this for your power weapons. These are the exact steps you used, like down to the paint and the number on the paint bottle, if it has a number associated with it, so that I'm like
Exact.
It's super easy. And it takes, I actually find joy in doing it. You know, it's one of those things where like, as I got older, man, when I was a kid, I used to hate like doing the dishes or anything like that. Now I'm like, I like having the house clean. Like I like the feeling I get when the house is clean. This is like my cleaning of the house for painting. Right.
I have to tell you, I made a joke about this one time. One of my things I really love is when I'm vacuuming the rug, seeing the even lines, on the rug, or mowing the lawn, seeing the even lines. I don't know why. It's just
no. It's as you get older. This is old guy stuff.
I know it's old guy stuff.
It becomes very satisfying. It's
a little OCD in all of us.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I do it. Doug Neal used to put it all on 3x5 cards in a thing, and I have his
in a Rolodex of.
I have his
in a card box
that's full of the recipes there. So yeah, I mean
that's another old guy way to do it.
Do whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend documenting the paints you use.
Yes.
And the mixtures, especially if you're mixing paints.
Yep.
Ooh, buddy.
Yep.
Like, and be as precise as you can. Like I break down, here's how on my sisters, I'm like, here are the colors and the steps I used to paint the red armor. So I start off with, it's prime black. I use this color and airbrush this on this. Then I go in with this wash. Then I go do highlights with this. Like and it'll say like armor, right? And then a bunch of bullet points under that. And then it'll say, cloaks. And then it'll tell you the exact recipe and how I did the cloak. And then it'll, power weapons. Here's how I did the power weapons. Plasma guns, whatever. And man, it makes my life so much easier. And I've had to use it for multiple, especially I can never, like, I love the green effect I've done on the power weapons on my chaos stuff.
Yep.
I can never remember which greens I used because I experimented with a bunch. Now I can just go to that list, pull it up, and be like, oh yeah, this green, and this green.
Last year I painted that Witch Hunter's army for Adepticon in AOS.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is great. It's all done. I got it all. It's like, oh, but this is only a 1,000 point army. So I wrote the 2,000 point list, and now I have all the models assembled for that. And I'm like, oh, now I have to remember how I painted it all.
See, I'm showing online right now here, to Josh and Adon right now. Like, here's the armor and trim, and it tells you exactly here's the eyes, here's the power weapons and plasma weapons. Yeah, I have the same thing for the sisters.
That's very similar to what I do in the Notes app. But the Notes app is on the cloud, so it connects to my computer automatically. So I'm just skipping the email step. But yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Here's Sisters of Battle list.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice detailed list.
Yeah. Super handy.
Yeah.
And man, I didn't used to do it, and I regretted it.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. I mean, you can buy models. You can buy used models. Let's say I play Ultramarines. And I'm like, I'd really like to buy these Ultramarine Terminators. This guy painted his Ultramarine Terminators. And then I'll get them. They do not match my style.
No, not at all.
There are so many shades of blue and paint application styles. And
there was a point where I remember all the GW stores, many years ago, like 4th, 5th edition. They were trying to paint up like a huge ultramarine force amongst all the stores. So all the stores were told, paint a unit or a couple of units of these, and everybody did it differently. Like they didn't specify use these colors, and like nothing quite matched. So
well, Mini Wargaming Matt was doing this with trying to get everybody who had these Tyranids to use all the same paint scheme. So when they all went to the Grand Narrative, everybody with the Tyranid army would all have the same one massive high fleet.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they had a recipe.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
that is the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it. And not only do I list just the paints in my description, I also list how I applied them. Yeah. So I mean, like I airbrushed this. Oh, I slap chopped this piece of the model, and then I use these colors as a filter through the airbrush or whatever. You know, like I'm very prescriptive about it, and it has saved me a ton of frustration.
Some of one of the shortcuts I did before when I was buying multiple, like the Grey Knights, they'd all be painted as Grey Knights, which slightly different. But I would make sure that all the basing is the same. I'd do the basing of the same on all of them, and it's amazing how much that ties the
it's the rug that
army
ties the
together.
Room together.
You just use the term that ties the room together.
Yeah.
Like doing basing all the same solves so many problems. Like in that aforementioned example with you buy these darker blue Terminators and they don't quite match. If you were to stick them on identical bases to the rest of your army, they will suddenly blend in that much more.
Yeah. Oh,
it is, you'll be like, oh yeah, those are guys are a little bit darker. Oh, they're a special unit.
Yeah.
First
whatever.
company.
Yeah. They kind of go their own McCrag way. They march their own way to McCrag, but having it on, you're absolutely right, Adon. Like having it on the same basing structure for all of them just ties it all together very, very well. And you can also do things like you can weather, or, you can even, if you didn't want to replace like the entire paint scheme, you might be able to touch up and highlight areas with colors closer to your army's colors to help blend the difference between the two. And unless they're sitting,
or battle damage or whatever.
Battle damage is a good one. Yeah. Especially if you've got
nicked up models.
But other models are, you can hide a lot through just damaging up a bunch of models. So
just throw on some pigments, some oil wash.
Let your puppy play with them.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's Jeff's Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Ashmantle.
Yeah.
Brayarth Ashmantle.
Chewed up.
Which I got him as a gift, and his dog chewed it up.
Wah, wah.
And I mean under that, we just talked about battle damage. I mean, you could also like call it a unit, and maybe that one unit is battle damaged, and you're just like, they're veterans of
the Long War.
Of the Long War. They've taken a beating and now they've just come back or whatever. I mean,
Those can work the tyrannic war veterans.
You can work a narrative in there as well.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is you could rather than include them as an entire force in your army, you could have them replace individual models as a campaign progresses, that now they're a little more damaged or whatever.
This is a little more extreme, but for Marines with Stern Guard, I made them all Death Watch.
Yeah.
So they all had the Death Watch shoulder pad.
Yeah.
It's obviously a different like paint scheme from the rest of the army, but just having different models, which I think they were all resin at the time, was able to work in the kind of Death Watch paint scheme into.
I did that with my
unit that made sense.
I did that with Ultramarines too. And my Legion of the Damned, which I loved.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So yeah. Don, it's funny you hit on this earlier, but sometimes restoration is just not worth it.
Nope.
Yeah.
And you I think you hit the key metric, which is how much is my time worth and how much money is this costing me to actually restore it.
Right.
Sometimes you may just love the project and you just want to do it.
And some people they do. Some people, they just get so much satisfaction out of doing that rescue that it's worth it. And good on you. I mean, do what pleases you for sure.
Or you may receive a unit or models and you're like, oh, this thing is really kind of beyond salvageable at this point. There's a number of things you can do with that.
Yeah.
Take bits off of it for other things.
Yep.
Turn it into terrain.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
Painted up a little bronze and some verdigris. Hey, it's a statue.
It's a statue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the classic. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Terrain conversions, especially for vehicles that arrive that you're just like, oh, this thing is awful.
Yep.
Like, it is so easy, and it adds so much character
Cut it
to
in
a
half,
table.
put it in a crater, boom.
Solved.
And if you play chaos, or even if you play against chaos, it could end up being possessed or a spawn.
Yeah, for sure.
Or whatever. You know, you could take that.
Oh, this is where like orcs in particular
orcs.
get away
Sell
with a
it to
lot
your
of
orc
stuff.
friend, and they'll just go crazy.
When Loopy, so the infamous story of Loopy sending me a whirlwind, and saying, "Hey, this was Loopy and I were going to meet at Adepticon. We were going to play this game."
Was it a whirlwind or was it a Vindicator?
It was a whirlwind.
Okay.
He sends me this whirlwind, and he says, "You have to use this unit in the game we're going to play." And I said, okay. And he sent it to me, and it was gray, and it was assembled like crap. And I was just like, oh God, this is awful. Fine. So I like sprayed it blue. I painted up the treads. I slapped like a template of a U on it for the Ultramarines, logo, sprayed that on, added just a couple details in there. I'm like, okay, fine, it's painted. And it wasn't until we got there and he's like, okay, open it up. And I'm like, you can't, it's sealed. He goes, no, it's not. And he'd used like 20 magnets in the thing. It was sealed so hard. And he opened it up and he had fully painted orcs inside of it.
And they came out and assaulted it.
And they came out assaulted out of it. But what was interesting about it was I received that model and I was like, oh, this is not in great shape.
Right.
Of course it's not. It's an orc model. You knucklehead. Like, I didn't realize at the time. But
Built according to his cunning plan.
it was so clever. That's
awesome.
That's legendary. But you can receive models that are just like damaged to a point where you're like, or you're just going to spend too much time trying to recover this thing that it's just not worth it. You can absolutely turn those into, for orcs, they get away with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like chaos can get away with it a little bit too, although I tend to like my chaos. But in particular, Nurgle chaos can get away with it really well, especially if you have any kind of green stuff skills.
Green stuff, a couple boils on it, ready to go.
Boils and a tongue, or a tentacle or something. Yeah, I mean, or like we just saw on Build, Paint, and Play, that guy had done that really cool rhino for Thousand Suns that was like floating on like flames. So if I get a rhino and the treads are damaged or problematic, I'll make it
this one flies.
Magic hovercraft vehicle. I mean, it's still just treated as a rhino, but it looks cool.
Right.
So there's a lot of potential conversion opportunities you can do there that work really well. I'm always jealous of how orcs can just, pile on stuff and it looks great.
Throw some plastic guard and some rivets on it. It's good to go.
Yep.
And it turns into the doof wagon. Right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Hey.
So yeah, I don't think there is there's, as I had in the notes here, there's no shame in declaring a model that you've purchased as donor stock, and you're like, all right, what am I going to do with this thing? In particular, I strongly feel vehicles that are in bad shape make great terrain pieces.
Yep.
Absolutely great terrain pieces. There's some additional steps you can take as you get a model that's in bad shape and you want to like upgrade. You can magnetize it during the rebuild. Maybe it wasn't magnetized before, but now that offers a lot of versatility. As we talked about basing before, but you can upgrade it. Like usually sometimes you'll get these things that are on older base sizes or things that are no longer used. So now you can upgrade it to the correct thing. You can repose. This is the thing that he does in the eBay miniatures rescue that I really appreciate is he will take the model and then not only strip it, clean it up, and fix it, but he will repose it into a more dynamic pose. Yeah. So it gives you a lot of opportunity there.
And some of the older models are like if it goes from like my Wraith Guard are the old metal Wraith Guard. Yeah. And they were on 25s, I think.
Yeah.
And
way back in the day.
And they're shorter than the regular ones. Yeah. So I got them rebased onto 40s and just filled it in with cork. And now they're about the right height.
They stand taller.
Yeah. Yep. And then the right base size.
Yep. So they got epic rocks.
Yeah. And it's a simple fix.
They're all heroes.
And when you put them on the table, I mean, it fits. And so there's things like that you can do where you can use the old base and just use that as a way to pump it up.
For sure. And then, obviously stripping some of like maybe transfers have gotten yellowed or one of the things I found with snow basing if it's not done correctly, snow bracing can go
yeah,
can get yellowed, and it doesn't look particularly
Yeah,
good.
don't eat yellow snow.
It's yellow
Nope.
snow.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I guess it would be okay if they were space wolves.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. So yeah, I mean, really, I think there's a philosophy behind restoring these models is like, what's your objective here? If you can save some significant money, but you're going to invest a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's worth it. And sometimes, certainly, I think one of the cool things about it is you can feel an even larger sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot more ownership. Yeah.
you save something basically from the garbage bin
Yeah.
or the trash pile.
Right.
And now you have a fully functioning,
Right.
40K army or whatever, or unit.
You're a rescue hero.
That's right. That's right. Ooh, see, that's a badge.
Yeah.
I'll tell Casey about that one from.
We talked a little bit
eBay.
too about bringing a narrative to life out of a rescue. And so the place I found myself more recently buying secondhand models is for Necromunda weirdos. I don't really care what's going on with that model because they're Necromunda weirdos, and I'm gonna convert them a little bit. I'm gonna add stuff onto them anyway. So just embracing the character of embracing the flaws and adding, adding to that personality is.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can buy batches of a bunch of stuff that is probably primed, might have mold lines, like go and scrape the mold lines off, reprime, but you can also just add to it and embrace this.
Make some weirdos.
Make some weirdos.
That's right.
Necromunda needs more weirdos.
just like
you
us.
can never have enough of them.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to add, or we'll move on to closing out the show?
I think
Next
that's-
segment.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back to close out the show. What I would say is, for the listeners, let us know or show us pictures of models you've rescued or
Love to
armies
see
you've
it.
rescued.
Yeah,
I
I'd love
would-
to see it.
Let's
Very
see your
interesting.
before and afters.
Yeah, for sure. And also be interested in hearing any horror stories you had from scripting,
Yeah.
like me removing the chrome from my airbrush, which basically meant I threw it in the garbage after that. So yeah, let us know what success you've had or other tips that you may have.
Yeah, other tips would be great.
Yeah. All right. You guys got anything you want to throw out there before we move into final messages?
No, looking forward to Adepticon. I don't know if we're going to be able to record again
Ooh,
before
we will
Adepticon.
not before Adepticon, but we will record after Adepticon.
Right. So looking forward to see all the ICers who are out there at Adepticon.
Yeah.
Please do not hesitate to
Come on,
say
say
hi
hi.
and
We'll be running the 40K Flex.
we'd love
Or
to
playing
love
in
to
it.
see. I'm playing in the 40K Flex on Thursday. Friday I'm going to be helping staff the Table War Charities table.
Nice.
So come say hi and come donate to the charity.
Yeah,
And-
we're gonna for Table War Charities. We're gonna have a Adeptus Titanicus army.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
As well as terrain, unassembled terrain. The terrain is still on sprue, but it comes with a rule book. Comes with a bunch of great Adeptus Titanicus models, all painted by Austin Lin in our
yeah.
group.
Nice.
Who's painted mine?
Yeah, he's
He's very good.
he's probably painted more Titans than anybody else in the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
He likes doing it.
Yeah.
And man, it's a great looking army.
he likes doing it. I'm going to get a hold of him.
And that'll be he's still going to charge you. That'll be probably the main part of our lucky draw for Table War Charities this
great.
year, and it's a great force. And again, Adeptus Titanicus as well as Legions Imperialis can be used for both.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So
Two
come
games in one.
Anytime you see us, say hi. Come by the tables. Come by the Flex.
yeah, love it. Love seeing people, and I am so looking forward to Adepticon.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
really excited.
So we'll do like a review episode afterwards, like
Yeah,
kinda
for sure.
everybody does. But maybe we'll get a few guests in to talk as well. And man, I'm just really looking forward. Second year at Milwaukee, I think it's gonna be smoother than ever.
Yeah.
I just hope Milwaukee's ready for what's about to happen.
I hope
They
the
were not
barbecue-
prepared for the locust descending upon it last year. So
I hope the barbecue place across the street is ready.
Yeah.
everybody just
should
ran out
call
of
them.
food.
Aaron and I are staying right above that food hall, that big
yeah,
food
nice.
complex. We're sitting we're staying right upstairs.
You're gonna come back so bloated.
I know, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna start calling you the bloat drones. All right. Well, yeah. So we won't record before then, but we'll probably release like a little Patreon episode prior to that. But then we will be back from Adepticon and sharing stories and stuff. It'll be awesome.
I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about with a likely 11th edition announcement coming.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even think
2 hour
about that.
preview.
It's going to be a long episode probably coming back. All right. So leave us reviews on your podcast app of choice. iTunes is probably the largest group we see it from, but you also may not know, but these episodes also get streamed right to YouTube. So you can view it there, leave comments, give us a like and follow, click the bell, ring
It
the
is just
dog,
audio.
do whatever you're
So-
doing. Yeah, it's just audio.
Right.
Just audio at this point. But if that's how you digest your podcast, that's a place
Just
to
have it
go.
right on there while you're painting. It's
Yep.
great. Great for that.
Facebook group is still going strong. We had a couple new members join this week, so that's great. We got a Patreon. We've got a Discord.
The Discord's awesome.
Discord's super fun.
Very active.
We have, you can find all this information and more at theindependentcharacters.com. We will see you at Adepticon. And, anything else you guys want to add? I'm going to close it out. What's the situation with Lords and Heroes, dude?
Yeah, well, we talked about doing it as a Patreon thing, and so let's talk.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, so this is Carl.
This is Josh.
This is Adon.
We're coming to you from the Astronomicon, where stripping has a different meaning.
What's old is new again.
And one gamer's trash is probably trash, but maybe not.
We'll see you soon, and hopefully we see you at Adepticon. This episode of The Independent Characters is protected by the Creative Commons license. If you have further questions as to its use, you can find information on the front page at theindependentcharacters.com.